pull a heater, man. Never follow a leader, man. Even though we try, it's hard to beat 'em, man. Put up or shut up, my loot up. So what's up? What would you do if I shot your hood up? Either jealous, smoke weed, I'll take the cuffs. That's F-A-B, not fabulous. What it is, sick what it is. The way this money look, I'll be independent for years. It's a gang of hood niggas eating off this plate. So don't come around here if you ain't from this place. Hear me coming by the half a block. Got a dent in my ceiling from doing the robot. Catch all kind of buzz from all kind of thugs. They offer designer, all kind of drugs. I'm married to the F, pistol under the battery, dope in the gas.
This, oh, we're sick with it, we is super sick with it. Scraper, full up with rippers. Purple, gone off the liquor. This, it's sick with it, we is super sick with it. Scraper, full up with rippers. Purple, gone off the liquor. I don't need no iron, I'm already free. FAB, what they call me, 40 say mouthpiece. I do the dummy, retarded, and ride the yellow bus. Put the 10 on the 5 and be doing hella much. High speed in my car, call it a scraper. Pop my pieces, your bra, come for I take her. I only grow with my folks, family, and next of kin. Right away what I have, I'm a pedestrian. Hit the club and I'm mad cause they won't let us in. Now I'm about to go bad like drunk Mexicans. You know what's into a sumo when I be holding weight. Got love for the East Coast, but this the Golden Gate. I'm from the Bay and we PIs, no surf talk. Since I was me out of beehive, I knew surf talk. T-H-I-Z-Z, Drew B, you too hard, you need to be easy. This, oh, we're sick with it, we is super sick with it. Scraper, full up with rippers. Purple, gone off the liquor. This, it's sick with it, we is super sick with it. Scraper, full up with rippers. Purple, gone off the liquor.
It's real ugly. SKs and AKs in my city. Not the pretty AKs that go but the ugly AKs that go through. It really doesn't matter, major fixture or factor. Walk up on that ass, let you have it in the bladder. It's all about the money in the crevice and the fine. The rose gold chains, jewels and earrings. Perkin, drinking whiskey, son, in my Suburban. Dropping off louder. Trying to place my bid, trying to get it abroad. Spit my LRPs in the Fairfield Mall. You can find me in the party, get twisted and swifted. See me in the club and I'm double fisted. Hard in the Statue of Liberty, hex and tipsy. Playing possum, acting like I'm dizzy.
Yeah. We is super sick with it.
Shout out to the motherfucker.
Scraper, full up with rippers. Purple,
yeah.
Gone off the liquor. This, it's sick with it. We is super sick with it. Scraper, full up with rippers. Purple, gone off the liquor.
Yeah, y'all get up in here, you feel me? We up in this motherfucker. West Coast motherfucking Wednesdays, you dig? Big Red Slaps your host. Ain't no other like me, man. Let's get into it. What it do, y'all? Let's see who we got up in this chat. All right, let's see. Shout out to Shock Rock King. Shout out to Sincere. Shout out to Vibrant Low. Shout out to Clem. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Ray Black. You feel me? Shout out to Moxie, man. What's up, Moxie? And let's see who else we got, man. Shout out to Real Mama Fifi. Shit. Shout out to Voodoo. Hey, I caught your lie the other day, man. I seen you popping your shit, man. I see you, man. And I subscribed and everything. You feel me? So you'll see me around there. Let me see who else we got, man. I think I got everybody. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, man, you know, like always, we ain't gonna be here too long, you know what I'm saying? Just real brief, you know, pop my shit on some shit, you know what I'm saying? Open up the panel, see what y'all got, you know. But the topic was, let's take this shit back, right? Excuse me, I do got the ACO, but it's still, you know, house trying to cool down, man. It's hot. It was $1 day today, you feel me, straight up. So it's hot, and the sun's still out here. But yeah, let's take this shit back. The differences between now and then, right? So what really got me on this was you know, like I said before, you know what I'm saying, me and the homies was talking and shit. And fucking you know, we was kind of talking about some of the shows we was watching, you know what I'm saying, and how, you know, you can't do that type of shit no more. You know what I'm saying? And the main show was like, you know, the Fear Factor, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. And you know how they just had these motherfuckers eating all kind of crazy shit and, you know, doing the coldest stunts ever. You know, I remember like, you know, they was damn near on like skyscrapers, man, doing things, you feel me, like with cranes and shit, like walking shit, you know what I'm saying, grabbing flags type shit, like just shit you cannot get away with, you know what I'm saying, nowadays. They shut your whole program down, you do that shit, you feel me? And what was wild, right, is last night, it was my shit too, Voodoo. I ain't gonna bullshit you, man. Last night, you know, I'll be getting on my old school hype, you know what I'm saying? And I'm hella into like, you know, old school scary movies and shit. So I was like, fuck it, man. You know, I already know, ran through all the Friday the 13th, Halloweens and all that. I was like, let me refresh my shit on this Sleepaway Camp. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all familiar with that, right? So I fucked around and watched all three of them, you know what I'm saying? Before I like knocked out and shit. I didn't knock out hella late, you know what I'm saying? So I just had it going, you feel me? And they was playing back to back. So the thing that was fucking me up and during my birthday, you know what I'm saying, I was, you know, rocking with my sister and shit, and we was like, you know, doing a lot of old school movies and shit too, but over there. And it was just something I hella noticed, you know what I'm saying, like with the you know, like I want to say like late 70s, early 80s type movies, you know what I'm saying, there was like very, very borderline, a lot of sex. And let me not say sex, but let me just say sexual content. It's like, you know, they would always have to have the girl, you know, basically, you know, getting out of the shower or something. It was just wild. It was like everything that I was watching, I was just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Just hella just out there. And then with the Sleepaway Camp thing, right? I was watching these when I was hella young, you feel me? Like I watched hella fucking horror movies, man. It's crazy, scary movies, whatever. I can name like a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? And if I can't name them, you name them, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that one, you know what I'm saying? But like they had scenes in there, you know what I'm saying, that were just like really out of line. They had a scene in there because I don't know if you guys are familiar, but you know, the girl that was in Sleepaway Camp actually ended up being a boy, you know what I'm saying? And that was the storyline behind it. And you know, he did things, you know, switched up or whatever. And during the camp, you know, he didn't want to really, you know, expose himself, right? So, and then trans, and then he ended up getting the sex change for like part 2 and everything. Like it's called Sleepaway Camp. But just the first one, it was just wild because as the movie was going, it was kind of telling the story of him, you know what I'm saying, and how the mom was speaking or whatever, and how she had so many boys and always wanted a daughter. And so anyways, there was a scene where he was like very, very young, you know what I'm saying? They were probably like, I want to say 7, 8 years old, you know what I'm saying? And they were both like sitting on a bed, you know what I'm saying? Like they were going to explore each other. You know what I mean? And it was just wild, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, what the fuck? Like me seeing it now, I was just like, holy shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even remember this shit. And there was a scene where there was like, you know, 2 men in bed, and the same 2 kids were in the doorway watching, laughing and giggling, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And they were like in bed, like, you know, really like, you know, into each other, you know, shirts off, the whole 9, you know? And I was just like, the way they're just back in the days, you know what I'm saying? They just had this shit in movies, you know, even if you watch the Friday the 13th, they always had the girl, you know, coming out the shower, and they do have, you know, they sex scenes and shit, you know, like they do today. But it's just like back then with the whole kids and everything. And it was just open, like, even at the camp, you know, with the boys, you know, peeping through the window at the older chicks that were like fucking, you know, taking showers, you know what I'm saying? And they would show the nudity, you know what I mean? So it was just, I was just like, man, you can't do that type of shit nowadays, you know what I'm saying? And we grew up watching this shit, you know what I'm saying? So like with the Fear Factor, and just like I just put that movie into play, just some of the content that like we was exposed to. Yes, it was, you know, rated R, and, you know, you had to have your parents or whatnot. but they was there, you know what I'm saying? They let us, you know, rock out, you know, some of the parents, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, I know my parents did, you know what I'm saying? Like I grew up on that type of shit, but I don't remember those type of scenes like that, you know what I'm saying? So looking back at it now, I'm just like, wow, like I don't know if I would have wanted my kid to see all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you're just exposing them to fucking, you know, just sex really, really early, you know what I'm saying? And I was a young tyke watching this shit, you know what I'm saying? These are like, you know, early 80s and shit type movies, you feel me? So like it was just like things like that you really can't get away with no shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, no type of, you know, scenes like that. They had something that was kind of close with I want to say her name was I don't want to be wrong, but I think it was Tiffany Haddish, and it was her and like that other comedian dude, and they was kind of doing some borderline shit, man. It was like about like I want to say maybe a good 7 years maybe now ago, and it was, you know, it made headlines and everything, and you know they had like a kid involved in it, you know what I'm saying, and it was like, you know, kind of like, you know, a lot of sexual content in there, you know what I'm saying. And they fucking got on their ass for that shit, you know what I'm saying? And this was about like 7 years ago. And even that, you remember that, Voodoo? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think it was Tiffany Haddish. But you know, just to say like that's, you know, back then, you know, we was just on some other shit, bro. Like real talk, like the way they was making movies and shit and everything, like it was wild, you know what I'm saying? We was really exposed to a lot of shit. And then like I was also thinking back, you know, how you know, like how I put in my little description and shit, you know, like just with our social activities, you feel me? Like the times where, you know, you'd have to come in, you know, when the street lights come on, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of motherfuckers feel that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm a mid 70s baby, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know some of y'all, you know, can feel me on that shit, you know what I mean? You know, I was riding around with like the bicycle crew, you know what I'm saying? We had like the BMXs and, you know, mongooses and shit, you know what I'm saying? And we'd hit the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we put miles, you feel me? Like, it's crazy, like, to think on how young we was, right? Back then, you feel me? And like, you know, our parents was cool. Like, you know, the rule was basically when them lights come on, your ass better be over here, you know what I'm saying, in the house, you know what I'm saying? Or you better be right there coming into this motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? And, you know, I just remember like we would be everywhere, you feel me? Like, we would get on our bikes, man, and like, you know, we put miles, you know what I'm saying? And we would like venture off into like, I remember going into like construction type sites and shit and riding our like this shit probably we weren't even supposed to be fucking with, you know what I'm saying? But just because of the way like the dirt or whatever it was, you know, we was just fucking around, you know what I'm saying? But like we would ride hella far, bro. And we was hella young. We was hella young. And like when I see the people like the kids nowadays that like, you know, maybe be like how Clem, you saying 11 years old riding the bike 4 miles away off top. Like when you see kids that are like 10, 11 years old nowadays, you couldn't even fathom that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way. There's no way you could think of, you know what I'm saying, them being that far away from the house, them just, you know, you go nuts, you know what I'm saying? But back then, it was kind of like a norm. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. But also, what was crazy too is you know, like the skating rings and all that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? That was the norm, you know, all that type of shit. Like all those things was dope. That was like a part of our life, you feel me? Like back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Going to the skating rings and shit like that. And it's like nowadays, it's like they took all that type of shit away. I see like out there in Atlanta, like I be seeing on Instagram, they still got like some dope roller skating rings and shit, and motherfuckers be out there doing their thizzle, and that's dope. But out here, like especially where I'm at, they used to have a couple of skating rinks out there, you know what I'm saying? And they're all gone. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's wild, and they hella fun, you know what I'm saying? Like used to meet a lot of motherfucking people and shit at them skating rinks, man. Everybody would be up over there. It was a vibe. I remember the fucking birthday parties and shit, you know what I'm saying? Going down up over there, the little rooms and shit, you feel me? Like all that shit, bro. It's like, and now kids don't, they don't, I mean, they do got some little bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I guess, you feel me? They got the little shit that they go to now, but it's just like that old school shit. Like it was just, it's different, man, you know? But also what comes with that, And like I also was gonna get into, but I didn't put in the description, but was like, man, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We was, riding our bikes, doing all that type of shit. What's up with Akeisha? Riding far, being in the house by, dark, but it was wild, bro. Like I remember, you know what I mean? Like eating cereal or whatnot, or lunch at school and looking at the fucking milk, bro. And there would always be some fucking missing kids on there, bro. Like, back then, like kids was just, it was coming up short. You know what I'm saying? Like old boy Wayne and shit with them fucking things he was doing out there, man. I remember they had a special on him on HBO, bro. That shit kind of fucked me up, bro. But yeah, the Atlanta child kidnapping and murders and shit, it was wild, bro. And just I remember just growing up, and this is before like America's Most Wanted really started, coming on and all that type of shit. Because that did start like probably I want to say late 80s, you feel me? But that milk carton shit, bro, it was like real deal, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, we eating breakfast, bro. we about to watch our cartoons and shit, but on the milk carton, though, there's a couple of, young cats, you know what I'm saying? That's just gone, you feel me? It was just a whole different time back then, bro. Like, people was coming up short, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers was just, and like, they got that shit that was going on out there in Chicago and shit, you know what I mean? But imagine like that type of shit, just like kind of a lot, you know what I'm saying? And you being young, that's like Wayne Williams. There you go. Right on, real mama Fifi. Just being young, you know what I'm saying? Just knowing, like I said, we'd be riding our bikes, walking home from school. I mean, my school was, it was a little walk, you feel me? And then if my bike was, up to par or whatnot, I was on the bike, you know what I'm saying? As long as I had a lock, you feel me? But, shit, other than that, you can get snatched up, you feel me? Like motherfuckers driving, like you had to really be on your shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And your parents will let you know, you know what I'm saying? Like be on your shit. And that's when, back in the days, like your neighbors and everything like that, everybody was like kind of working with each other, bro. Like you don't really get that kind of love no more like that, how they had back in the days. You feel me? Like motherfuckers was like, I don't want to say like yo kids with their kids, but you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of love back then, you know what I'm saying? And if you wasn't acting right, they was gonna let you know, you feel me? You know what I mean? And then and if they did know your parents or whatnot, they was definitely finna pull up and let them know about your activities, bro. So like everybody was like really connected. And that's back in the day type shit. Now we moved to this type of, man, ain't nobody even tripping, bro. Like motherfuckers is doing dog ass shit, pulling out cameras, you know what I'm saying, and posting this shit. You can be out there leaking, you know what I'm saying? And before they call for any type of help, you feel me? They over there, you know what I'm saying, just recording the shit to post on they live or whatnot for some motherfucking content. What's up with it? The Beef Podcast, what it do? So, that's just the difference. You feel me? Like back then, I remember it was all good. You know what I'm saying? When, somebody was like broken down or something on the road or whatnot, motherfucker kind of pulled over, whatnot. Be like, hey, man, everything good. Whoop, whoop. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything was right. Niggas didn't have like cell phones and shit like how they got nowadays. You feel me? It was a whole different ball game. You know what I'm talking about? But now, shit, ain't no fucking way. You can be out there on the side of the motherfucking road and look, shit, I can't even blame you because a lot of these motherfuckers be on some other shit. You feel me? You never know. A motherfucker be playing a game, acting like something wrong. You pull up over there and they on some other shit. You feel me? So that's just the difference between times, y'all. That's just where I'm getting at. Like you can't even move how you were kind of back in the days, like how you are now. You know what I'm saying? Like shit is just a whole different ball game, man. Hella different. But even with school, right? I remember going to school, man, and fucking it was I missed it by about a year, you know what I'm saying? But I remember like my sister and shit like that, or other relatives that was older that was, going into high school, man, motherfuckers was smoking and shit at school, bro. Like they were smoking cigarettes and shit. Like they had an area where you could smoke cigarettes, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But it was normal. And if you look at like some of the old school movies, like how I was telling you, right? Like these movies like back in the 80s shit, like the teen movies or whatnot, and they go into high school or whatnot, you'll see it. You know what I'm saying? You'll see them, you know what I'm saying, as like seniors or whatnot, pulling out a cigarette at lunch or whatnot, smoking a cigarette, you know what I'm saying, during the break, whatever, you feel me? Like that was normal shit, bro. You know what I mean? It's like now you would never see that. You would never see that. You know what I'm saying? It's wild shit. Big ass difference, y'all. Big ass difference. I brought it up. Hold on one second, y'all. I brought it up, you know what I'm saying? Also the other day, or not the other day, but you know, like a couple of lives, you know what I'm saying, ago, about being in elementary, you know what I'm saying? Elementary school, right? You get sent to the fucking principal's office, man. You get hit with the paddle. The paddle was right there in the principal's office, y'all. I bullshit you not. To everybody that may not have experienced or seen that, I'm not bullshit. And if I'm not mistaken, right, your parents okayed it, you know what I'm saying, if they needed to do that type of treatment, you know what I'm saying? It was something where it had to be, you know what I mean? But it was definitely in effect, you know what I'm saying? And I just can remember, you know, being in the principal's office, not on some old other shit, because I really wasn't, you know, a really bad fucking, you know, kid like that. I kind of was just to myself, you know what I mean? But if I just happened to be in the principal's office, it was maybe because I maybe had to chop it up or something. But it wasn't nothing hella crazy, you know what I mean? Like I always kind of, you know, I had detentions and shit, but I wasn't a motherfucker that was always getting sent to the principal's office. You feel me? I was a little bit smoother than that. You know what I'm talking about? But I do remember, you know what I'm saying, that fucking, what's up with the Empress, that paddle was up in there, man. You feel me? And I remember kids coming back, right? Like in elementary, right? I know the school that I went to, it was set up to where like there was a classroom, and then like it was kind of like, I don't want to, I guess you can say like kind of a hallway, but it was all open. You know what I'm saying? Like you can kind of see into the other place or whatever. And then that may be another classroom or whatnot. And you know what I'm saying? So you would have like almost like maybe about 4 different classrooms in one type of building type area. You know what I'm saying? And there was a couple of different like buildings, right? And fucking you would hear kids coming back from the principal's office crying and shit, bro. So like, you know, you would have like your reading time and your little nap time or whatnot, and motherfuckers get to fucking up, right? So, you know, motherfucker gets sent. What's up with a Patricia? A motherfucker gets sent out, you feel me? Come back, you know what I mean? And they got that treatment, you know. And these are things, you know what I'm saying, that I really fucking lightweight remember, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. And from what I hear is Trump trying to bring that shit back into effect. I don't really know too much. It's just something I kind of heard. So don't take my word for it. But, you know, I know back in the days that shit was cracking off, man, like off top. It was cracking. You feel me? They was able to whack you across the behind, you feel me, a few times, you know. It was some funny shit, man. But yeah, so you know, like how I was talking about, man, you know, with the whole school and shit like that, and you know, the kids on the milk cartons, you know what I'm saying, and just everything, man. Even just community and everything, like the vibes and everything back then, man, was just different, bro. Like everybody, you know, you still had your haters and all that type of shit. That's for sure, man. But it was a different vibe, man. Like the music, you know, everything, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, you know, like, you know, I'm big on music, you feel me? And music really does like set the tone for a lot of things, you know what I mean? And I remember like you know, where I'm at, we got the Bay, you know what I'm saying? We got the hyphy movement, shit like that. So certain movements, you feel me? And there was just certain times and eras of music, you feel me, that like the messages was pretty wild, you know what I mean? And what was going on was wild. And I remember like saying, you know what I mean? Because I always kind of just take things in, and then I just be like, man, because I know, you feel me? Like I just know like the impact of music, bro. And I was just like, man, this shit finna have motherfuckers on, bro. Like just this whole era right now. Because, you know, when you're into music and you kind of been following it for a while, you know that there's like eras of that shit. Like there's certain vibes of music. Like you can be listening to rap, but all rap ain't the same. You know what I mean? Like if you listen to 80s rap and then to 90s rap to 2000 rap, you know, 2005 or 10 rap, it switches. You feel me? So like R&B too, you know, everything switches, you know what I mean? So I knew it. I was just like, man, this shit finna have motherfuckers really turn, bro. It's gonna be a whole different ball game, you know? Like even when the movie Colors came out, you know what I'm saying? Like I was living in Sacramento at the time, And there was already a gang movement going, you feel me? But when that movie came out, it was bad. You know what I'm saying? It was really, really bad. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I really blame a lot of that on that fucking movie, man, because it just showed you it just showed you pretty much how to fucking, to do it. Like basically this is what blue is, this is what red is, this is what, this is how we get down. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do it in your town. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be trying to rhyme and shit, but I'm just saying, man, like it was just real, man. Like a lot of things, that was being put out, just was a hell of an influence. And just like, nowadays, people, they really kind of watch certain things and certain shit that they put out because like, I think they kind of seen that, hey, you know what I mean? We kind of got to slow this type of shit down. You feel me? And that's just not just with the little topics I may be talking about. I'm just talking about just period. You know what I'm saying? Just because the times have changed, you know what I'm saying? So, it was just different. And, it's just, I was watching that movie and I was just peeping that. And then I was, thinking back when I was, watching some other old school shit. And I was just like, the content was really, really, really lightweight, raw. You know what I'm saying? That, we was able to consume back then. And, it's just different. But with today, it's just like, I just really feel like, a lot of respect has been lost, you know what I'm saying, between, the older and the younger. I've said that before. And it's just bad. I think, we need to get back to, having, what I'm saying, conversations with, what I'm saying, the younger ones or whatnot, and getting that, respect back, because there's been a lot of respect that's been lost, what I'm saying, between, what I'm saying, older and younger, people. Hey, what's up with it? Be easy. Respect is earned, not given. That's a fact. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that, it's just different, bro. And back in the days, just when it comes to even, street warfare, there was still a respect in that. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays you don't have that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that. And then the way, like how I say, people want to claim everything and all that it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you're older and have done nothing to respect, then the youth will not respect you. Instead, they will challenge and resent you. Okay. Shout out to Be Easy, man. You feel me? Be Easy always come with that shit, man. I shared him out, y'all. I want to say maybe about a week or so ago. If you guys ever run across my community posts and I ever share Be Easy out, man, he's very, very dope. He's really, really dope. And when he speaks on some shit, man, he doesn't just come just to be talking. He's got some knowledge behind it. You feel me? And I really, really respect dude, bro, for sure. That's the homie. You know what I'm saying? We used to get down tough. He knows what it is. You feel me? So like, period. Also what I wanted to let y'all know is Friday I'm gonna be going live, and I spoke to the homie. You feel me? He's gonna slide through. I'm glad you're here. Be Easy, because I'm gonna have John slide through, man. So John gonna slide through, you know what I'm saying, and pop his shit. Now look, let me tell y'all, man, John is dope. Just like how I tell you Be Easy's dope, John is dope. I met John through Be Easy. You feel me? See how them dots be, connecting? Real recognize real, you feel me? When you out here, look, and I've said this plenty of times, right? The motherfuckers that you hang around and shit, bro, that's a big part on you and the way you gonna move and just period. You know what I'm saying? If you over here running around with dumb fucks and shit, you gonna be a dumb fuck doing dumb shit. If you run around, you know what I'm saying, and deal with motherfuckers that really be on point and be on some real shit, you gonna be on point and be on some real shit as much as to your capability. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just period, bro. Like if you surround yourself with motherfucking good people, bro, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is, bro. Don't be around no suckers, bro. And like, when I met Be Easy, solid dude, bro, we clicked. Cool. Met John, solid dude. And the motherfucker, look, both of them talented than a motherfucker, bro. And that's why, I spoke to John. I was like, bro, I got to get you up on the motherfucking thing, bro. We got to just pop our shit, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I can let the people know what it is about you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does clothes, he does all kind of shit. He's very lyrical, the whole nine. You feel me? Like, you know, check the boxes. You feel me? John on it. So, you know what I'm saying? Young nigga, you feel me? Doing his thizzle. You feel me? So, and we all come from the same soil. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what was wild. You feel me? We all from the same soil. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hopefully Friday, you know what I'm saying? Y'all come through to my Fuck It Up Fridays. You feel me? Fuck with it Fridays. And I'm gonna have John slide through, y'all. I think it's gonna be around like 8 o'clock, you know what I'm saying, Pacific Standard Time, you know what I'm saying? And we just gonna pop our shit, you feel me? Actually, he gonna pop his shit, bro. I told her, I was like, hey, look, man, you got the floor, man. I just want you to let these motherfuckers know what it is with John, you know what I'm saying? Sinatra, you feel me? So it's gonna be good, y'all. I hope y'all slide through. You hang with the chickens, you gon' cluck. You hang with the eagles, you gon' fly. That's a motherfucking fact, bro. That's a fact. I don't know how my internet is going. I got, you know, my also the Ethernet hooked up too, but my shit be tripping, bro. Like I'm looking at the little Wi-Fi signal and it's looking all funny and shit. So, you know, y'all just bear with me, you feel me? But yeah. So yeah, you know, there wasn't too much that I had to say, you know what I mean? On, you know, shit tonight. I just wanted to, you know, pop my shit, let y'all know what it was, you feel me? And you know, just kind of speak about the old school days, man. But just, you know, just like with you know, back then again, man, like just the whole era of music. You know, it's funny when you think of R&B, right? And I can't just think of a song, you know, when you think of something and you want to speak on something, you want to kind of throw an example, but you can't think of one off the top. But just think of any fucking R&B song back in the days. They would be like, I want your loving. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till I get your loving and shit like that. You know, that's how they would use their lyrics, right? Nowadays, you know, these motherfuckers be real blunt. You know what I mean? You know, there's no really too much chill. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's wild. It's really wild. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. It is what it is. That's a fact. Voodoo times has changed. No more OJs or Isaacs. Absolutely, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I love that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's that shit. You know what I mean? Do people want chill? Be easy. I don't know, bro. Because look, I was just watching. I didn't even watch it. Let me not say that. I seen a post on it was either Instagram or YouTube. And it was saying how I guess Glorilla, they gave her a gospel award, bro. Let me know this was a lie. If anybody's seen this, I think it was Glorilla. But they were saying during these awards that just passed, bro, she got a gospel award. Please, somebody in chat, tell me if they saw it, if it's true. It's a fact. No way. Look, you hold on, man. This is too much, bro. Too much. You gotta be shitting me, bro. Cause look, I knew I wasn't fucking tripping, bro. I seen that. I was like, nah. You know, sometimes they put out some shit out there and be lying. And they had her like smiling and shit, bro. I was like, no, bro. You feel me? Bro. Hey. That's what they were saying, Voodoo, man. I look. Y'all remember when Kanye did that shit to Taylor Swift? But look, this shit is crazy, bro. You know what I mean? Now, see, now with these new times, you gonna see some other type of dog ass shit. You feel me? You gonna see a comedian slap, or actually, you gonna see a rapper / fucking millionaire actor slap the dog shit out of a comedian during a goddamn awards, Oscars, bro. Like, this is the type of shit you'll see now, right? You feel me? You'll see Glorilla with the coldest lyrics, bro. I've never heard a whole song from this girl, but like shit I have heard, like because people play her shit or whatnot. Like her lyrics, she be cold, boy, like crazy, right? And to just know like that's kind of her get down. You feel me? To give her a gospel award, bro. What are we doing, bro? You feel me? Like what are we doing? Oh, really? Like what are we doing, man? You feel me? So it's just like it's crazy, man. Now back in the days, you wouldn't have seen no shit like that. you may see some wild shit, but that's completely showing your motherfucking ass, bro. And BET, if that was the BET Awards, bro, they so out of pocket for that, dog. It's kind of like the conversation we was having over there with at Hood Tables, man, when we started bringing up some of the Tyler Perry shit. Y'all go check that out, man. It was last Sunday. I really liked that. I thought it was some pretty dope content. But if I'm not mistaken, that's when TC also pulled up. So and it was cool because we had a difference in an opinion on some things. So that was dope. I'm always for that. But y'all go check that out. But for BET to pull a move like that and give out a gospel award, and you really had a gospel singers and artists or whatnot, in the category. Like I don't even know how a Glorilla song would have even got mixed up, even to be in that fucking category. Like I don't know. I didn't watch it, so I really can't speak too much on it because I didn't watch it. But I just know that's what I saw. Shout out to the chat for putting a stamp on it. Like, yeah, hey, that was true. She got one. Like now my mind is blown. Now I need to go fucking fish that shit out, you know what I mean, and be like, what the fuck is going on here, you know what I mean? Because that's wild to me. That's wild. Yeah, so on that, you feel me? Shit, what else was I gonna speak on with going back in the days and shit to add to now? Was so many things, y'all. It was just so many things, people's attitudes, everything. It was just different back in the days. I actually wish I was a lot older, you know what I'm saying, in like the 80s. I really liked the 80s. That to me was like a dope year, was the 80s. The music was dope, the movies were dope. It seemed like the whole vibe was dope, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers was just kind of on a cool vibe, you feel me? But just now, it's just you see a lot of just division. You see a lot of people like lost. It seems like back in the days, people had like when you see like some of the old school people that even leading some shit, they were young. You feel me? Like when you find out their ages and shit, it's like oh shit, you know what I mean? It's just like now it's just really hard to run across, people that are, really like on some shit and on some movements and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're not out there, but, it just seems like back in the days, man, it's like, it was just different. And some of those things need to come back, bro. Like even with like the protests and shit that we see in LA, I was watching a lot of that. And, a lot of people have their own opinions on that. And what's crazy is, what I'm saying, I got some, some Mexican partners, you feel me? And they're not young. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty much like one of the youngest out of the bunch, you feel me? And I'm almost 50, you feel me? So like, they're not young, you know what I mean? And like some of the things that they were saying was kind of catching me off guard. But it made sense. And a lot of people that that I seen that were like on YouTube that were also Mexican, also that were speaking on it, were kind of saying the same things. You have those people that look at it in the other type of way, and that's the way kind of like how you see what you see on TV, right? And that's one of the things that got me to kind of like really tune out a lot of news and TV shit, because there was a lot of lies. There was a lot of things being done, you know, behind, you know, camera, basically, and they was putting out a false narrative. And even with this protest that you see out there in LA, you see some of the same things, same tactics. You see people throwing bricks and shit. And what's crazy is there's vehicles like trucks coming in that have these bricks for these protesters to fucking you know, throw and cause all kind of fucking chaos. And the thing that always fucking got me is and this happened, you know, back, you know, when that whole BLM thing happened. And yeah, absolutely, I was just getting into that. It happened then. These protesters, you know, they would do the same thing. It's like I said, it's the same tactic that they're doing in LA and everything, and they're moving on to other states. But the looting and stuff, the breaking in businesses and stealing and everything like that, it was like what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And I remember like people would put, oh, this is black owned, or like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're protesting something or whatever, why are you looting, you know, people that may have the same view as you, and you're looting their business and their way of earning a lifestyle for themselves and their family. But you're going in there and you're stealing from them and the so-called cause of whatever the fuck we see on TV, right? And let's say I'm one of those type of people that go out there to protest and whatever. I'm not going out there with hella bricks and shit like that. So somebody's bringing that shit. Like, you know, if say you and your folks and everything, y'all gonna go out there like, yeah, man, let's go. Y'all gonna, the things y'all gonna have is mask on and shit like that. You feel me? Some shit like that or whatever. But to be hella armed with hella bricks, to be fucking throwing at cop cars and all this type of shit, or making those fucking like little cocktail type firebomb things, whatever the fuck. Like, come on, bro. Like that's and when that happens, it's like it happens. You feel me? Like that shit is there. Like somebody like planted that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they've actually had footage, you know what I'm saying, of people seeing certain vehicles, you know what I'm saying, that were like trucks pulled off with the shit already there for people to just grab it and go cause chaos, bro. And the thing that I was talking about when it came to the some of the the Wi-Fi is doing the thing again, y'all. So I don't know how the shit is, but just bear with me. But the Mexicans that I was seeing that were on like YouTube speaking on it were also saying how, you know, they had family that are in Mexico that's gone through the ringer with protesting and shit not being right out there, and they never would fucking protest like they do out here in the States with the whole looting and all that type of shit. Like nothing of that. And they're fucking right, bro. Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? That's some other shit. So they was getting on them like, why the fuck are these, you know, so-called, you know, Mexicans that are saying, you know, they for the United States or whatnot, but yet at the same time, they want to burn flags and shit and all this and that and bust out Mexican flags and all that. But you're in the States, but you're supposed to be out here rocking with this. And like the things that they were saying and how they put it, y'all, like it's different. I should have probably had a video, but I wasn't really going to get in all of that. I just kind of got into it. But it just really was different, bro. And I was just like, holy shit, man. Like, you know, it gave me a whole different vision on that shit. Because I already was done with it from when that shit was with BLM and all that protesting, and it just shit wasn't sitting right with me. You know what I'm saying? With all that type of shit. I understand the cause and everything, but certain things that are being done, I don't feel that shit, bro. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it was just wild, and that's I seen similar things going on out there in LA when I was watching, you know, some of the shit on that. Hold on. And they're just moving to different states and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And also what they were saying, when it comes to the whole immigration thing, and some of my partners were saying the same thing. You know how you know there's rules and regulations to everything, bro. And basically it was like, you know, when you, I guess when you come out here to the States or whatnot, you know, you have that visa or whatever, and then when your time is up, you got to do whatever you got to do or whatever. But if you don't, then you know you got to go, bro, and that's just the law of the land, and that would be like anywhere, bro. And what they're trying to kind of spin out here is, with the States is like, you know, we hella wrong for that. You know, you guys are just deporting people being wrong, and but when you look at the real picture, you know what I'm saying, and they really break that shit down, and that's what I was watching. I was just like, holy shit, bro. Like when you watch the news, they put such a narrative out there, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what you watch. You're just consuming that. You kind of get a different type of a way of thinking on things. You feel me? You almost kind of start thinking like, damn, man, these motherfuckers is assholes, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then when you start really, when you get like both sides, bro, and you start really hearing shit, and then when you start hearing it from people of that, like, you know, their people, you feel me, speaking on it, it was just a fucking eye opener, bro. And it was really, really like wild to me, man. And again, these are some of the reasons why I just stopped watching the news. I stopped watching a lot of TV, because like they really just put out a narrative out there. They put things out there. I think they try to put scare tactics out there to the people. And it's wrong, bro. I don't think anybody should be out here living in fear, because if you really think about it, even with the bad shit or whatever, say that's going on, you're still going to work every day. You're still doing what you do every day. But now you got that shit all on your brain and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, on some real shit, you're doing your everyday thing, bro. So, and I just thought of it like, you know what? If I don't even consume that shit, it's not gonna bother me, because I got to do my everyday shit any fucking ways. So why be thinking or afraid or thinking, oh shit, man, they might try to bomb us or something, or they're talking about, like, they just put shit out there, bro, that'll have your fucking head spinning, bro. Spinning. And I just got to the point where I was just like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna just live my life, bro. And then when you start losing all kind of people and shit, like you're done with the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people, like, they get older, they start getting a little attitude and shit. And I understand it now, because the people, they probably lost people that they thought was cool and shit, and they just on some other shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like as you grow and get older, and it's a whole different ball game. So I get it. That grumpy old man or whatnot. There's a reason behind that. He probably wasn't always like that. He just probably got tired of the dumb shit, bro. Tired of motherfuckers playing with him. You feel me? And that's a fact. That's a fact. So yeah, y'all, you know, I got a good, like, you know, 51 minutes in with y'all of, you know, popping my shit. You feel me? I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link, you know what I'm saying, in case anybody want to pop up, man, and chop some shit up with me, bro. You know, we can speak on the topic or whatnot, or y'all could just pop your shit on whatever, man. Just come through, holler at me, whatnot. And if you don't hit the link, that's cool too. You feel me? Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Charlie. She hooked me and Hood Table up with the thumbnail. So now whenever we get down on Sundays, you guys will see the thumbnail, you feel me? And Charlie made that happen. And I really appreciate you, Charlie. For real, for real. You know, when I met Hood Table, I met Charlie. Because when I went to Hood Tables, Charlie was always up there. I was like, look at this shit. You feel me? And it was cool, man. You know, they was always cool. They always had a good vibe. I really like Charlie's accent. And I told her, you know what I mean? I was like, hey, you know what? I like your accent, man. You know what I mean? It was really down home-ish, you know what I mean, type, you feel me? But it was just cool, man. You know what I mean? That I've always kind of, you know, I got a, you know, family like from Louisiana and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of brothers and shit from the Bay and shit. A lot of their family kind of come from like New Orleans, Louisiana, and Texas and shit like that. But I've always liked that. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that type of that draw. I like that. I like that feel. You know what I'm saying? It's really wholesome. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Cali. You know what I mean? So we pop our shit different. You know what I mean? So like when I hear motherfuckers like, you know, like down south or whatnot, you know what I mean? Like the women and shit like that, it's cool. I like the accent, bro. It's cool. That Florida shit be cool too. But yeah, shout out to Keisha, man. Let me see what Sincere said. Well, Trump basically done put a travel ban primarily Black countries from coming to America. Knowledge for thought. Hey, it was with Trump, you know what I mean? I can't put nothing past Trump, man. You know what I'm saying? What's good for the goose, good for the gander. So just because he fucking with the Mexicans now don't mean he ain't gonna be fucking with the niggas next. And then maybe the Asians or however way you want to spin it. Because we're gonna keep it real, y'all. We're gonna keep it real. Last time Trump was in our office, you know, you've seen a lot of people really showing their ass. And I'm not just saying on TV or anything. I'm talking about real life and communities. When Trump was running and getting in there, and they kind of knew he was getting in there, there's a freeway out here. You know what I'm saying? I think it was the 101 going through on the way to Gilroy. So as you go through like Morgan Hill and everything, you know, you're gonna you know drive under a couple of overpasses, and there was this one overpass in Morgan Hill, right? Like I said, this is off the 101, and they posted, you know, big ass fucking like signs, like Nazi whatever type shit, fucking just crazy shit, bro. You know what I mean? And they was doing this shit like, you know, for like a couple of days, man. You know, made the news and everything like that. You know what I mean? Just really bold. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, with Trump, that's what comes with Trump. It comes with all these motherfuckers with those crazy fucking ways of thinking and how they think things should be done. I mean, think about the Capitol thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this was all under Trump's watch, bro. Like, things have happened that people wouldn't think could ever happen. This guy still hasn't showed his taxes. Did a whole term, and now he's on a second term. And then, from what I was hearing, is presidents, they have to, you know, prove certain criteria for being in position. So, and then, like I said, with the whole thing of him, you know, that raid that they did, you know, on Capitol Hill, like, you can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make it up. You know what I mean? So, you know, just keeping it real, you know, with Trump comes a lot of that type of shit. You know what I mean? So I don't put nothing past it. Nothing. But I also ain't gonna let that shit, you know, bombard my fucking brain or anything. If it comes across me in life or whatever, then I deal with it in life. But to just be seeing it and have me just on edge or tripping, or, you know, anytime I see whatever, you know, fuck all that. Life's too short to be tripping, bro. And to me, that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? They want motherfuckers just be out there really just tripping. To me, that's like you trying to control. You're trying to control my whole everything, bro. My emotions, the way I get down, the way I'm thinking, like, I'm cool, bro. Let me be me. Let me think how I want to think. You feel me? I'll surround myself around people that, you know what I'm saying, I can get game from and shit. I don't need to get none of that bullshit or false narratives or none of that. You feel me? None of that. I'm good. So, you know, shit. I think, you know what I mean? Y'all probably like, all right, Rig, go ahead and drop the thing. See if somebody come up. All right, man, we're going to do that. So let me throw the song on real quick, and we're going to go ahead and get to it, man. Like I said, if y'all want to slide through, come holler at your boy, man. Yeah. Yeah, what it do? What it do? All right, so yeah, didn't nobody hit the link yet, y'all. So we still here. I'll be here for a little bit. You know what I mean? See if somebody hit the link and want to chop some shit. Let me go ahead and see what's going on in this chat. See what everybody's saying. Let's see. Be easy. They voted for him because they thought he was gonna get black folks together. They thought we was immigrants. So you saying that they voted for Trump because you think that they was gonna bring sincere? You think that they was gonna bring blacks together through Trump or through that other dude Biden? I didn't catch it in the beginning. What's up with it? Be easy.
That was good with you.
I was trying to read what you and Sincere was going back and forth with. Who was she talking about on voted for to say that they was going to help with the blacks? Who was she referring that to?
She was talking about the Latinos. So, there is a big contingent of Latinos for Trump, and an overwhelming amount voted for Trump because Trump, he talked about these deportations. That's why a lot of people are saying, hold your own nuts, because, there's a whole, well, you voted for this. He was very explicit about what he wanted to do. He wanted to do mass deportations. And some, not all, but some thought that, oh man, this country is anti-black. He gonna be deporting a bunch of black people. The thing is, when they opened the border, and no one has to take my word for it. I looked this stuff up because I actually am immersed in these types of geopolitics, but domestic politics. Over 80+% of the illegal immigrants they allowed into the country was Latino. About 10% was Asian, and less than 10%, less than 7% was African and Caribbean. So when he talks about mass deportations, if the majority of the people they let in the country was Latino, if he's doing deportations, obviously the majority of them are going to be Latino because they weren't even letting as many black immigrants in the country to begin with. They never did. So some people, they like to, in this where there's a delineation process going on, some people use the term FBA or whatever, Adolf Friedman. Anyways, is to say that, hey, my lineage is from America. I'm not African. There's a difference between having African ancestry and genetics and being African, right? All of the white people that's from Ireland and Britain, they actually immigrated here, but they're not calling themselves British, right? They're not calling themselves British America. So they say about 78% of Latinos either directly immigrated or they have a family member that immigrated. So it's like one of those sayings where if you a thief, everybody around you think, man, they probably stealing too, because you a thief, so you think everybody else is a thief. When people grow up as an immigrant, typically they live in an immigrant enclave. So a bunch of people around them are immigrants, so they think that, hey, I'm an immigrant, so is this person. So he said he's gonna deport immigrants. They gonna start with them first because so it's kind of one of those roundabout things, and there's a lot of tension like between communities. The whole country is anti-black, but when you start digging into the individual pockets, Latino versus Asian, or Latino versus Black, Asian versus Black, white versus Black, there's always a specific contention among each group, but it's really like one-sided, like we are the most welcoming group, we're the most inviting group, and honestly,
that is a fact.
But the thing is it's been used to a detriment. It's been used for weakness because and before we wasn't looking at it like this, but this is where the trouble lies. So
let me ask you a quick question, B. I don't mean to cut you, but just because you just kind of said that, why do you think we are open like that, B? As a community, why do you think that we we will go ahead and take on people and you know let them in, you know, basically in the barbecue and shit like that.
Because that's our spirit. As much as people want to like crap on us, oh, we're so violent and we're so
Absolutely.
savagery, and that's why I always get on people about the what about black on black crime and all this shit like that. Because, bruh, you already know we from Cali, bro. You know the Latinos, the Mexicans, Serranos. You know they get busy, bro. They're not just innocent angels just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, bro. But show me one video of a Latino of a North, they talking about brown on brown crime, right? You know that the Asians get busy, bro. Is the blacks producing manufacturing guns, or is it Asians, right? Is the blacks have a bunch of cartels, or is it the Colombian, the Mexican cartel? You see what I'm saying? Like, so these other groups, way more organized, way more violent, but they don't go around talking about how violent they are, bro. The top 10 countries, the most dangerous countries in the world. I mean, the most dangerous cities in the world. 7 of them are in Mexico. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. 7 of the most dangerous cities are in Mexico. And then people be like, but what about Oakland? But what about Chicago? Oakland makes some parts in Mexico look like a playground, look like the little McDonald's play place. And there's no content creator getting on talking about that. So part of it is that, like, you know, we are so open. A lot of us is overly religious, right? We grew up, it's just in our spirit. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, right? Because it's great to be like loving, affectionate, inviting, and chanting. That's not a bad thing. The bad thing is allowing those virtues, those attributes to be taken advantage of. And I'll give real world examples. Growing up in the 90s, and everyone could fact check me, right? Because I read and I make sure that what I'm saying has value and that it's on point. So don't take my word for it, fact checking. In the 90s, Oakland, 47% black. Richmond, 47% black. Now, 17% black, 18% black, respectively, in both of those cities. And it's flooded with Latinos. Flooded with Latinos. Now do the flip. Find a city that's 17% Latino and then flooded with a bunch of blacks. Do you think the Latinos are just gonna be okay with that? Oh yeah, come on. We're so inviting. No, it's not gonna be like that. But on the flip side, we're supposed to be invited and welcome everybody. Somebody would do a dance. Oh, they're invited to the cookout. You do a dance, do they say, oh, he's invited to the fiesta? Come on down to the quinceañera. They don't say that shit. When there's a
Damn, you put
construction,
it on a dance, bro. Fuck.
I'm just saying, bro. When there's a construction crew, you think that black dudes can't here hammer this, here lift that, here lift that. You think that they can't do that? You go to the construction crew, all Latino. You think that that's just because niggas are lazy and don't want to work hard? No, they're looking out for their group and only looking out for their group. But when I say, hey, well, look, don't go to that taqueria, don't go here because we got to look out for our group. Oh, that's racist, that's xenophobic. I'm doing the same thing that they doing. When you go to the Asian nail shop, all Asians working, only Asians working. It used to be black dudes on the corner selling hot links, selling ribs. They got them up out of there and said, no, you don't have a permit. Then meanwhile, they have some illegal immigrant who's selling tacos, and they're like, he's just trying to feed his family. You know, they're separating families. When a nigga go to jail, what happens? They separate his family.
You really going there tonight, dog?
Bruh, I'm going there because I've been seeing niggas being way too sympathetic, bro. I love everybody. I'm a humanitarian. But what happens is, because cats be getting some Latina cooch, then they're like, well, yeah, she can call me a nigga because she got good cooch.
Wow.
But it's like, yeah, but then when you go home, her uncle is calling you a mayate, a chango, and all this other type of shit, right? So it's like, come on, bro. Like, you gotta stop with the goofy shit. So, like, I hear what you're saying when you're saying, oh, you know, man, I just, you know, I don't pay attention. I just put my head down. But that's kind of why we in the you know, and I ain't trying to take a shot at you. I'm just saying in
No,
general,
no,
like
speak your shit, dog. I'm listening.
this is part of why we in the reason why we in now. Like, sit, bro, Compton. Compton used to be mainly black. Compton is all Latino now. South Central used to be mainly black, all Latino now. But on the flip side, you can't find Latino areas that was all Latino and then flip to being majority black because they gatekeep. They don't want us in Bay Area, but this the thing, right? They hate us so much, but as soon as they come here, who's the first neighborhood they dump them into? Not an Asian neighborhood, not a white neighborhood. They dump them in a black neighborhood, and then niggas are saying, "Oh, because I grew up around Latinos and they gave me a taco." Now they can say nigga, but they
God
don't.
damn.
But they don't do that to you. They don't say, "I grew up around blacks. I used to have sleepovers, so now he can call me a mayate." Now he
B
can say essays.
B.
Come on, bro.
So look, it's been a minute, dog. And this is really how you breaking it in like that though, dog. You really gonna give it to him raw like that, bro?
Bruh, it ain't no other way, man.
What's up with it, ghetto? And I seen you, Peach. What's up, NK? Go ahead and do your thing, bro. You over here, fuck, bro.
Man, I had to because you know that there's a big thing out there right now, especially since you brought up the protest. That there was a huge thing where they're like, "Well, where are the blacks? Why the fuck would the blacks come out?" My nigga, like, bruh, we used to have a double-digit population in California. Now it's like 8% of the population. You know what I mean? And it's even less in LA, right? So we're the smallest population in LA, and guess who they're asking to come out to protest with them? The smallest population. And look, let's just say I was on some black and brown shit, which I'm not because it never existed. I would like for there to be a coalition, but I'm just not delusional to try to act like I ain't gonna put paint where it ain't, right? You know what I mean? So when you go out there, bruh, let's just say I'm with it, right? You know what I mean? All the goofy shit that niggas do. Oh, you're Latino. Oh, you're brown, even though most of them consider themselves white. Oh, you're brown. You can say nigga, right? So now you got the Latino who grew up with you saying nigga. Y'all hit a lick together. You go to jail, right? And you're with your Latino nigga. And then when he goes in jail, who is he gonna side with? Who is he gonna side with, Big Red? So you went to jail saying he's a nigga, he's
Right.
just like us, and then he
Right.
goes in jail and sides with the Woods? Come on, bruh. Where the fuck is the coalition with that? And then when they get out,
Come on, dog. So you taking it to the California politics too, bruh?
bruh, it's not just California politics, nigga. The same shit is happening in New York and every other place. California is just a bedrock for it. As California goes the nation. You already know this. You feel me? So I'm just calling it out because people don't want to speak on it. People know that they can't refute what I'm saying. So they try to say, yeah, well, my baby mama's Latino. Okay, nigga, that had nothing to do with what I said, bro. You still can't refute what I said. So then they use interracial dating and mating to say, okay, cool. Your Latina baby mama is cool. Salute to her. But nigga, when they go to jail, are they clicking up with the Woods or not? That has nothing to do with your son, nothing to do with your baby mama, nothing to do with your Latino husband. I'm just asking a straightforward question because this is why I never use that goofy ass term, people of color. Like, why the fuck would I call myself a person of color? Then as soon as, because blacks are supposed to be people of color, even though we was the only ones considered colored, right? Then Latinos are air quote people of color. Then they go to jail and they side with people of no color. They get out people who
And
lack color.
I've been saying that lately too, though. But the way you just spun that, though, god damn.
I'm just saying, bro. The same thing happens politically, bro. They got black people out here stomping for reparations, right? For you direct cash payments to the descendants of freedmen, descendants of U.S. chattel slavery. Guess who was the loudest voices up there speaking against it? Asian immigrants and Latino immigrants. And then we supposed to come over here and say, oh, there's this black and brown coalition. In the Boyle Heights neighborhood in LA, they firebombed the black community out on Mother's Day. They did it specifically on Mother's Day because they knew everybody would be relaxing. All of this shit is you could it's documented. The LA Times writ this. Now, on the flip side, Rick, tell me one instance of some niggas going and firebombing some Latinos out of their neighborhood. It ain't gonna be one. So then it becomes a conundrum because they firebombed us, right? And it's just like, oh man, that's just the concrete jungle. Then if we retaliate, it's like, see, that's just black culture. You see how goofy that shit sounds, bro?
Man,
But
hey,
go
Envy,
ahead, y'all got it, bro.
Envy, go ahead and jump in there, man. This nigga, man, look. Check this out, y'all. This my boy Be Easy, man. Like I said, we had a show rocking, and I tell him all the time, man, to slide through, and he also be doing his thing. So whenever I drop, anything on the community wall, y'all go check him out. Maz drop his his channel, but I'll be trying to get my boy up over here, y'all, because he really be on that shit, man. He just don't talk this shit, bro. Like he really be out there in the field with this shit, man, and I really respect it. He's one that really came from some shit, you feel me? And now his whole life is on a different page, you feel me? And I salute that, you feel me? Like everybody ain't no motherfucking square just because motherfuckers is cool and calm collective now, you know what I'm saying? Don't take that shit, you feel me, a certain way, bro. Like motherfuckers done grew to get into that, you know what I'm talking about? But go ahead, Envy.
No, I'm good. I'm listening to y'all. I'm listening to what he said. I wish we were less consumer based. Like you were talking about the Hispanics, they come here with a plan. You know what I mean? They send their money back home and they're all set by the time they get up out of here. But we're consumers. You know what I'm saying? Like they utilize us to consume. I mean, I know Diddy, I don't even want to like talk about that trial or anything, but look like Ciroc and then cognac and the other stuff that are marketed to us that actually are meant to destroy us. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how we're just like, oh, let me get the gold chain. We used to say that our rims were more expensive than our cars and shit. But go ahead, y'all. I just walked in the room, so I'm listening.
All right, let me touch on what Envy said. Like I agree and I disagree. You know what I mean? Because I think that's painting too much with a broad brush because Big Rig, he's familiar with the Latino community. They like to stunt too. The difference is when they're stunting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look it up. They're living on average. This is statistically true.
Minimalist
on average,
living. Mm-hmm.
No, they're living with more people in the house. Why do you think there's this? Why do you think there's a stereotype of a car and it's like 10 Mexicans getting out of it?
Yeah.
Right. Those 10 Mexicans live together. So then, typically, because generational trauma, whatever, we like to have our own shit, right? So Envy probably gonna have a place by himself, or it's gonna be Envy, his lady, and his kids. That's it. I know plenty of Filipino families where it's 4 families in the house, not a 4-person family, 4 different families in the house. So I mean, what could you do if your rent was only $200 or $500, right? I'm sure you could afford a lot more. So then you're like, damn, this place has 6 cars in front of, and I'm not saying that this is a bad thing or a way to denigrate, but it's just a kind of unfair comparison. That's why when they say, oh, because people don't listen to the trick language and how words can be a little bit misconstruing. So they'll say, look, Asians have the highest household income, right? So what that means is they have a lot of high earners in the house. I know plenty of Asian people now that are in their 40s still living with their parents. So their parents are making, so they got 2 high earning parents, right? Then they typically have a husband and wife. So that's 2 high earning parents, a high earning husband, a high earning wife. You know what I mean? Right there.
How are you going to question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, like, don't you think that is unfair? Let's say I heard you talking about the Asians, Hispanics, and whatnot, right? So let's say lower middle class, black community, right? So they have your property tax on your home, and let's just say they're $100,000 homes. And then in the Caucasian community, they have $1 million homes. But then they put those into their schools, their resources, their education, and things like that. But it's never going to be equal. But the way that they actually trick us to not be able to, like, make the excuse you can't get that job is because we can't pass the same standardized test because we don't have the same level of education. I've never understood. I can't wrap my mind around that. Like, how
Well,
one
that
school
that
could be
that's
like, oh, one school could be like, oh, we built this $20 million add-on to our school for AI, and then in our schools we're still trying to get a gym.
but
It
that's
starts
it's
from
just.
there.
Well, listen to Dr. Francis Cress Wilson and Dr. Neely Fuller. They say if you don't, and I'm paraphrasing, if you don't understand white supremacy, then everything else will confuse you. So think about it. This is supposed to be the greatest nation, right? There's nothing we can't do. We can send a man to the moon, except we can't figure out how to fund schools. You see what I'm saying? So that's
Hmm.
intentional, right? We can go to Mars. They in New York, they just put out a $50 million uh $50 million legal fund for illegal immigrants. Just think about that. They put
Hmm.
out a legal fund, $50 million for illegal immigrants. The thing is, they won't invest $50 million into inner city schools. Is that intentional? This is not rocket science, bro. You're not a politician, Indy, and you can figure this shit out. So if
Yeah.
politicians are in there and they not figuring it out, this is intentional. To even base school like learning facilities off of property taxes is racist in itself, because
Hmm.
there's something called white flight. So if it's a
Yep.
neighborhood of
White
blacks,
flight.
all of the houses are going to automatically be devalued. Even if it's me, you, and Riggs, and we all are living in nice houses because we're
Hmm.
all black homeowners, automatically the property is lower value. So lower value
Hmm.
property means lower tax base, which means we're
Yep.
going to defund the school. So, and I'm glad you brought up, hey, look, this school, they had this 20 million center. They got schools out here. I was like, what college is this? It's like, oh no, that's just
Right.
the high school. So
Right.
they
Exactly.
they'll overfund a school that already has the resources, and then a school that
And
needs
it's
the
college
resource.
prep, and we're just trying to get diplomas.
There you
They
go.
already got, by the time they get out of their high school, they're damn near a junior in college. They got enough credits.
And don't sleep on this aspect as well, because I've mentored youth, and I worked in the educational field, or I worked within the education apparatus. I wasn't like a teacher or anything like that, but yeah. So they allocate a certain amount of dollars per student. So I'm just throwing out like an arbitrary number. Let's say it could be a poor Oakland school. They may be allocated like 2,500, 3,000 per student. You go to one of those more affluent schools, it's more like 8 grand, 10 grand per student. And then people are saying, well, why can't you guys compete with them? Envy, when you was in high school, think about whatever your rival high school was, the private high
Hmm.
school that y'all couldn't beat, right? And think about, why couldn't you guys compete with them? You know why? Because one of them had an athletic booster parent that just came, and this happens in De La
That's
Salle.
exactly correct.
One of the athletic parents came and dropped 10 grand. One parent dropped 10
Hmm.
grand. Oh, you guys need jerseys? They dropped 10 grand. Another parent donated a field to the school. Now, of course, they did it because they got like their name put on the field. But do you have generational wealth to just throw around like
So
that?
let me ask you this before I forget. Um, so you know how you said like the immigration fund and whatnot like that, right? A lot of the reason why they do that is like because of politics, right? But unfortunately, we can't really point toward a country with politics. You got to give the Mexicans, you got to give the people that migrated here. But what country are we sending our money back to?
No, that's even one of the more profound arguments for granting reparations, and reparations is not for all black people, it's for the descendants of U.S. chattel slavery, of the emancipated freedmen. So Citigroup is, I believe, the third to fourth largest financial institution in the entire world. It's not this woke institution, it's not a pro-black institution, no black people even run it. They said
Mhm.
that if reparations were paid out, it would stimulate, let me say that again, it would stimulate and boost the US economy. You know why? Because people want to try to Africanize us, but I'm only speaking about specifically freedmen. We're not African, we're American. There's nowhere for us to
That's
send
why I
our
hate being
money.
called African American, because
And
why do
that's
we
why I
have to?
don't use that term.
We're the only ones that have to be dual ethnogenesis. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
well,
Because Germans don't call themselves German Americans. Anybody from Europe, Italian American, none of that shit. But
and
we are African American. But if you go back to the quote unquote white man theory that everybody came from Africa, right? So who was here first? That shit blows my mind that we have to be African American.
no, and see, that's why people are changing that now, because it's a delineation movement and what I call a delineation process. So realistically, we're late to the delineation process. And if some people don't know what that means, is right now we're talking a lot about Mexicans, but Mexicans delineate themselves. All you got to do is call a Mexican El Salvadorian and see what happens. They'll tell you quickly that they're not. They're both
Hmm.
air quote Hispanic Latino, which is not a race, but they're delineating and saying, yeah, we might fit under this huge umbrella group, but we had an ethnogenesis. So, don't call a Mexican a Cuban, don't call a Cuban a Brazilian. That is what delineation is. Delineation is here, oh, you look Chinese, I'm Korean. That's what delineation is,
Right.
right? They're all Asian, but this person is Chinese, this person is Japanese, this person is Filipino, this person is Cambodian, all Asian, but all different. So with us, they made us into one big global Negro, and for a while we have done that, because back to our earlier point, we're so uh, like spiritually inclined to accept everyone, but all we did was accept our erasure, right? My family's soil comes from the killing fields in America. My mom wasn't an immigrant, her mom wasn't an immigrant, and her mom wasn't an immigrant. At some point, some people, and then even if you want to just go from the whole slavery thing, that's not immigration, right? If you go to China right now, find a little Chinese girl, sexually assault her, and bring her to America. Did she immigrate here? No. So it's disrespectful to even try to conflate the two. But so now
How do you
going forward, what are you gonna say?
how you feel about other races
This
getting
nigga be easy going off, bro.
how you feel about
Go
other
ahead.
races getting funded for 7 years with business grants to open up businesses in the black community?
I have to correct you. It wasn't 7. It's actually 10 years, and it's actually
It's
tax
10
free.
now.
Yes, 10 years
Tax
tax
free.
free. So
And then all they do, and I try to tell people, I'm like, you see the grandfather, the father, and the son working in here. Oh yeah, the grandfather's about to be done with his, what we said 7 years back then. He's gonna pass it down, and they're gonna move back to their country. But they open it up in the black neighborhood, and what people don't realize is they take the grants and they open it up, but then we give them all their money. They go out to the suburbs, educate
Yep.
their kids, put them in the right fraternity, send them through, the system, and it's literally economic genocide within the black community. I don't understand why people put up with that. I have no idea. I'll
Well,
never be able to explain it.
Well, part of it is because a lot of people are politically disengaged. And this is why there's something called the diseases of despair. So basically, once you're so destitute and so broken down and disenfranchised, and this kind of brings up to your point where you're like, oh, people like to floss and all that, that's a form of escapism. Because when people look like, damn, man, I ain't gonna never be able to afford a house, I ain't gonna be able to afford this. Well, shit, at least I can look nice, right? And these things give them a false sense of validation, but it also boosts their low self-esteem, right? Every day people are being attacked. Oh, you guys are criminals, savages, low IQ, blah, go back to Africa and all this stuff. You have to kind of tune that out and channel it. In order to channel it out, you kind of got to have some fun, right? You got to be dancing and doing all this other shit. Unfortunately, sometimes people do too much unproductive stuff, but it's, you know, people say, oh, I laugh so I don't have to cry. Sometimes people consume and spend so they don't have to face, you know, the kind of morbid and toxic reality that they're faced with. And temporarily it can relieve them of whatever stressful situation they're going through. But overall, then you wake up and then you look like, hold on, damn, this used to be a predominantly black neighborhood. Now it's not, you know what I mean? And for instance, like at the schools, right? At the schools it used to be a lot of brothers at the schools. Now, if you in Oakland, because they dumped a bunch of Latino immigrants there, now your kid has to learn Spanish, which I'm not saying that's a horrible thing, but the thing is, when they come here and they don't know English, they separate them and then they give them special treatment so they can learn English. What special treatment is your kid getting? If anything, they gonna say, oh yeah, they gonna send your kids to the principal's office, right? And then they do that same thing with businesses, right? You go to apply for business and they say it must be bilingual, because now we flooded the whole area with Asians or Latinos, so you got to speak Mandarin. You know, we're not discriminating against you, but actually it is. But see, on the flip side, if you have a business and say must speak clear English, not no thick accent, you must speak clear English, they will say, no, that's xenophobic, that's racist. But on the flip side, they can do that to you, right? Must speak Spanish. So you're not going to get the job. Even if you do speak fluent Spanish, you're not going to flip that. When I was growing up, McDonald's, Taco Bell, y'all know this. It used to be young black people working those jobs. Now go to Taco Bell, it's going to be some grown ass immigrant working there. I'm like, come on, bruh. So now when people like, oh, well, you know, what are these kids going to do, right? You got the parents working 8 hours a day, so they're not going to be there for their kids. Kids running amok in the streets. They shut down all of the, you know, the boys and girls clubs and shit. Do y'all even see them anymore? Those used to be rampant around the hood. They suddenly shut them down and put liquor store. Yep. So you see what I'm saying? So that's why I always try to tell people, like, we don't have any allies, bro, because if we had an ally, I should be able to set up in Chinatown like they set up in a black neighborhood. But they don't want that. They want Chinatown to themselves. And this is another form of delineation, right? This is another, right? Why is Chinatown not called Asiatown? Because they only want it to be exclusively preserved for Chinese culture. Now, anyone could shop there, but it's going to be called Chinatown. You know, they also have a Japantown. They also have a Koreatown. Why is it not called Asiatown? Because they're delineating. Same thing when these black or melanated immigrants come over, many who didn't even consider themselves black. They used to say, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. I'm not black, I'm Haitian. I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. They come over here and they make a little Senegal. That's delineation. They come over here and make a little Haiti. This ain't fucking Haiti. This is America. But you come over here and you want to transform it into Haiti. And then people are like, oh, well, why can't we get along? Because you're trying to separate and segregate yourself. You know, like, so what we're saying is, if you want to be separate, then be separate all the time. There's not going to be, because this is the thing, if a Haitian person commits a crime, they'll be like, see, that was a black person. But if that same Haitian person graduates from college, this is a win for Haiti. Haiti, stand up. Let's go, Haiti. I'm like, what the hell? Like, okay, if you're going to be that fervent about Haiti, then just do it all the time. Don't try to act like we're the same, because we're not. You know, we may that's why they say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I'm not saying that you need to hate or despise people. I'm saying that we need to recognize our ethnic differences like everyone else do. I'm in the Bay Area. I got a lot of Samoan friends. Call a Samoan Tongan and see what happens. So, but see, everyone understands that. But with us, you can call a Jamaican black or African American. You can call a Haitian black or African American. I didn't grow up eating plantains. I didn't grow up eating goofy soup. I didn't grow up eating jerk chicken. Nothing against these foods. I didn't grow up eating naan and curry.
What's up with it, Snoop?
So I'm just saying, like, We need to be able to stand on our ethnic differences, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just only with us. Too many people have been able to leech under the African American term, and now it's just clouded. Technically, Elon Musk is African American, right? They got the goofy dude from Fresh and Fit who looks like an Arab. His name is Amru Fudil. That's what his name is. That's what, bro.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. The nigga changed his name to Myron Gaines. What sounds like a more, I'm just saying, what sounds like a more nigga name? Amadou Fudil or Myron Gaines. So he changed his name and now he runs around saying, I'm more African American than you. And technically he is. He's Sudanese. That's as African as it gets. And now he's an American citizen. So he's like, I'm African American. Cool. And that's why I'm not African American. So you can hold that term and I'll be a foundational Black American freedman. See, that is what delineation is. It doesn't mean automatically I'm better than him just because I come from this different lineage, but there is a distinction. And the reason why that's important, because let's just say everybody knows samurais are associated with Japanese, right? But if I go to a Korean and say, oh, samurai culture is part of your culture, I mean, you're Asian, right? They're gonna be like, what? Yeah, but I'm Korean. So it's the same thing. You going to a Black American and talking about, oh, something, the Zulus in South Africa. Well, you're Black, right? Yeah. Shout out to the Zulus, but I have nothing to do with that. I don't know anything about that culture, right? So, but like they've made us into one big global Negro. That's why when they always say go back to Africa, when no one in your family has been to Africa,
right?
But no one is telling. But when you say go back to China, that's actually a hate crime. Did you know that like some people in the Bay Area got locked up during that Stop Asian Hate because they said that was a hate crime? All they said was take your ass back to China, and they got my hate crime. But how many times have you heard? I'm just saying.
Decide, bro.
How many times have you heard go back to Africa when you've never been? You literally never been to Africa, bro.
Never touched foot on the soil, bro.
But see, they try to make that your motherland, because if Africa is your motherland, then they don't owe you anything here. And that's been the whole trick bag. But your family died, bled, fought here. You feel me? And now they want you to just forget about that and go to Africa. Africa is a continent. It's not a country. Okay, let's say I want to go back to Africa. Where in Africa? Morocco, Senegal, where? So they just say, oh yeah, go here, you know. But for too long, you know, we have just we have allowed them to Africanize us. And I don't think it was all malicious on our part. I think a lot of us was just trying to pay homage to our African ancestry. We knew we was American, but we were just trying to acknowledge our African ancestry. That most white people have African ancestry, but they're not Africans, right? Because it's a certain percentage, and you know, there's something called an ethnogenesis. Another thing too, right? Jamaica was a slave colony. Why they don't call themselves African Jamaican?
Pull that up back there. It's in perfect timing right now. It's in my StreamYard. It's behind there. I gotta play this. He's literally talking about what I wanted to play. All right, here you go. Listen close. Ready?
There were melanated people in North America way before Columbus and the transatlantic slave trade. But guess what? The white man has a theory called out of Africa theory. So technically, even the white man theorizes that all of civilization came from Africa. The Europeans, the Spaniards, everybody came from Africa. The Europeans had their own ethnogenesis. The Spaniards had their own ethnogenesis. The Aboriginal blacks have their own ethnogenesis. The Black Aboriginal Australians have their own ethnogenesis. But why is it that only Black Americans are mislabeled as a dual continental misnomer, African American? Why can't we have our own ethnogenesis when we've been in this land for centuries?
Yeah, shout out to Mike TV. Yeah, that's essentially what I'm saying. There are books that there's one it's one he said, I can't remember the title, but it's basically saying these is literally a
is that who that was
title.
Old school Mike TV, bro?
Yeah, that was Mike TV.
Yeah, Mike TV be on them debates. Oh my god.
I remember the start of Mike TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, be easy do too.
Yeah, Mike TV's a hustler. He's a salesman.
Oh man, there's a lot of things back behind.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Shout out to
Yeah.
Mike TV. brother.
Shout out to Mike TV.
Yeah, no, but this kind of touches into like some of your earlier points, Big Rig. And like I said, I love all people, bro. I'm a humanitarian, whether you from the planet Pluto, an immigrant, or whatever. But like
off top, brother.
But I'm saying if you're from Pluto and I'm from Earth, I ain't gonna try to act like we're the same just because we're cool, right? Like, nah, bro, you from Pluto, you from Earth. We can still ride.
So how do you feel about how do you feel our treatment from like Africans from Africa when they come here? How do you feel? I think that we're very
a lot of them don't
mistreated
fuck with us,
when it
bro.
wasn't our.
Yeah,
I know. I always tell them. I said it's not my fault.
They look at
And
us like we strangers, like a motherfucker. Go
I
ahead.
know they look at us like, man, you guys assimilated. Well, we didn't get on the boat, motherfucker. What are we supposed to do over here?
Hey,
And
I don't let them get that off.
Don't forget who y'all sold us to, right?
Would you say,
Yeah,
Big? You gonna let them what?
Nah, so this is the thing. We've been too nice, bruh. I don't never let them get that off. First of all, it's not all, but the thing is, well, that's why people say a cop, all cops are bastards, because there's no such thing as a good cop, because obviously if there's a bad cop acting badly, you ain't gonna do nothing about it. I always like to use this analogy, right? Let's say it's a dude molesting kids, right? And you knew all about it. You've seen them do it before. You actually never touched the kid, but you knew something about this kid. Do you think people are just gonna be saying, well, yeah, you never touched them? I mean, you just knew about it. No, people gonna think like, nah, bruh, you complicit too. You knew this nigga was doing this and you didn't do shit about it. That's how I feel about these other people. They'll be like, oh, well, my parents told me this and they showed me a video and this group told me to stay away from you. Okay, and you didn't give us a warning, you didn't check them, you just went along with it, and now you're trying to act like a victim and all this stuff. And this is not everybody, because there are some writers. This is the thing though. When people say, well, it's not all, okay, if I give you a pizza, right? A extra large pizza, and it's some boo-boo on 10% of the pizza, are you gonna be saying, well, it's not no shit on all the pizza? You're gonna be like, oh no, I don't want this pizza. So that's the thing. It don't really matter if it's all. It matters that it's a problematic percentage that you're not addressing. And people will come over here and say, oh, you guys don't have a culture. And then they be saying, nigga all day and rapping. I was like, hold on, you said we don't have a culture, but you talking like us, you dressing like us. The way you're dressing is not like an African. The way you dressing is not like a Caribbean. Like for real, I shout out to my people from Haiti, Caribbean, all this stuff. Bro, I never wore a Jamaican flag. I never wore a Haitian flag. I never seen anything from there. It's like, yeah, let me do that. But they do that with us, right? Do you know any black rappers in America that is rapping like a Jamaican? Do you know any black rappers? No, you don't. It's like even that drill music.
They're
Come on, bro.
There might have been one or two. I don't know. Because they be on. They want to be like some Shabba Ranks or something. I don't know. They really feel it.
Who? I don't know who.
I'm just trying to stick up for somebody out there. I don't know.
Hey, shout out to them,
and I appreciate you, Big Rig.
I'm grasping for straws right now, brother. To be honest,
bro. Hey, bro, you reaching harder than Stretch Armstrong.
There's somebody good out there.
You know what I mean? I'm shit.
Bro, you don't know about the old school Stretch Armstrong? You know about that? Because that's how long you reaching right now. But it's good though, because that's part of our spirit, bro. We're so loving. And the thing is, this ain't to bash anybody. This is just to get some straightening, right? Like if I come in Big Rig house and he has a policy of take your shoes off, and I'm walking around and shit, and then I'm kind of tracking mud and shit. Big Rig could be a sucker and not say shit and just let me track mud around his house, or he could say, hey, look, bro, you know the guidelines, bro. You track mud around my house, bro. Take the shoes off, and could you help me clean this up?
That shit up.
Yeah,
and clean that shit up.
And a respectful person should say, you know what? Rules are rules. This is Big Rig house. Let me respect it. But that's not what these other people do. They come over to America, which is our country, and then they'll start shitting on, and just kind of like you were saying, right? Like people will be like, "Oh yeah, man, I ain't black, I'm Haitian," and flying a Haiti and Jamaican flag, and then it's like, "All right, well, go back to Jamaica," and then they get pissed. But it's like you're flying the flag so hard. That's what people are doing with Mexico, right? Y'all in the streets burning the American flag, flying the Mexican flag, and we're like, man, take your ass back to Mexico. Then it's like, no,
And that's
no,
what
no.
they was talking about, what you just said. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like from the optic standpoint,
Yeah.
it looks weak. I'll use another.
Like a
I'll use another analogy, right? Let's say you say McDonald's is the best burger place ever, and then I see you and I was like, bro, why you always at Burger King? And it's like you at Burger King, but you at Burger King with a McDonald's shirt. But it's like you eating at Burger King every day, wearing a McDonald's shirt, saying how bad McDonald's is. Like it just gets a little bit confusing, right? Like so you're saying this country is so bad, right? America's so bad, man, and that's why I love Mexico. Well, go live in Mexico, but you don't want to live there. But you said it was so much better. It doesn't even make sense, bro. I'll do another analogy, right? Imagine you say, "Oh, this girl down the block, her coochie is way better, way better than this chick up the street." So I was like, "Why you ain't smashing her? Why you smacking the regular bop with the loose vagina?"
Right.
You feel me? It's like it wouldn't even make any sense, right? So America, death to America. America is y'all is just lazy here. So why would you want to be around the lazy blacks with no culture, right? We're so, and this is another thing too, right? All these other groups, oh, we're so savage, we're so violent, but where they want to set up shop at? So if you so scared, right? You think that we so savage, why the fuck would you want your business there?
Because they want
And
that.
then
They want
they're
that money.
not even they're not even a part of the neighborhood. You know, they got 4 inches of glass. Ain't coming behind nothing. They ain't dapping nobody down.
Hey,
You know,
NB,
They can't even smell your breath. You feel me? Everything
in
is
Chicago was
shit.
so bad. You know, in
Thick ass
Chicago was so
glass.
bad where, on the regular glass, they slide it down the bottom. They didn't even
Yep.
have that. They didn't even have that. It was worse. They put
Hey, I
the
got
product. They put no straight up. They didn't have that, like where you put it under the window. They had this thing. They put the product in the thing and turn it where it would
Oh,
never.
I know what you're saying. That little drawer.
Yeah.
It's like a drawer, right?
Well, no, you turn it. It's like a like think of like a container,
Like a revolving
that turn.
door or something.
Yeah. They put the product
Gotcha.
in there and turn it so that there's never any room or anything. You just turn it. It's crazy. Like it's
And
bulletproof glass that you turn. And they're not even, man, they're not going to dab you down. They're not going to get to know your name. They're not going to do nothing.
no,
They're going to call the police to walk out
They don't
the
got no
back
time
door.
to be fucking with you. They just
yeah, and but then they be like, oh, so that's why a lot of those businesses, when people burnt down, it wasn't all black businesses. A lot of them was businesses that wasn't owned by black people. I'm not saying they should have been burnt down, but and then on top of that, they don't even know who was burning them down. So this is the thing: in America, it's innocent until proven guilty. So if there's a bunch of Asian shots in a black neighborhood, and no one sees who done it, oh, it's in a black neighborhood, it must be the blacks. But it's like you don't know who did that because there was a bunch of footage of people was inciting the riots, like Big Rig was saying. There was old cop cars. I'm talking about from like the police academy days. I'm like, how the hell they got a cop car from 1980s out here, and then the shit just get burnt, right? One protest, they had dropped a pallet of bricks. You see what I'm saying? And then there was one video where was this white dude spraying BLM, and some black dudes had to say, "Hey, bro, get up out of here with that, because it's gonna fall on us." So I want to also talk about the protesters versus looters, right? So people conflated, right? There were people out there that was legitimately peacefully protesting, but people don't let a crisis go to waste, right? If we know that all of the police are going to be over here attending to this protest, that means they're not going to be over here guarding this Gucci store, right? Or not going to do that. So unfortunately, people take advantage of that, and those looters know that most of the looters are from out of town, right? So somebody might come from Pittsburgh or San Jose to loot in Oakland. Who's going to get the backlash for it? Not San Jose, not Pittsburgh. It's going to be, see, this is what happens in Oakland, and people already know that. They just come and loot and then leave, so that's there is a conflation between the protesters and the looters. Not to say that some people protesting couldn't have looted, but it usually is a separate crowd that people already know that, hey, we can just take advantage of. It's thousands of people on the street. They can't catch all of us, right? So that's kind of, where it was. And then LA and California is 50% Latino. When they show the videos of people looting LA, it was mostly Latinos. A bunch of them was running around saying nigga, nigga, nigga. And you literally could see all Latinos, and guess who got the blame for it? Black people. So
Yeah, you was cooking, bro. Like that's you just kind of went off and started touching on all kind of shit, man. But what you were saying was on. And the people in the chat, you feel me? They was on board in what you were saying.
Oh, I didn't even see it, but salute the chat, bro. Your chat is always
Yeah,
live.
shout
I
out.
did see Sincere to say, has anyone seen a revolution that was peaceful? And that's funny because people like, we want change. It's like, no, you ain't gonna get no change with no strongly worded letter, right? Like when people was getting lynched in the street, dogs sicked on them and shit, that didn't happen because of a strongly worded letter. And this is why I really am push the line hard on anyone that disrespects my lineage, but especially if you immigrated here, because people are usually immigrating from famine, filth, and failure. Let me say that again. Famine, you were starving where you were at. Filth, it was filthy as fuck where you were at. And failure, you failed where you were at. That's why you fled here to come to a more successful infrastructure. So you can't like come from failure and then start wagging your finger. I'm doing so much better than you. It's like, okay, why weren't you doing better in your homeland? And then you start making excuses and saying, oh, I couldn't do better because of this. Oh, you couldn't do better because your people in your homeland wasn't on code. Your people in your homeland was tribalistic. Your people in your homeland was corrupt. That's the culture that you come from. So you can't come from that culture and then try to talk about, oh, you blacks don't have no culture and all this other type of shit. Because like, people don't want to get into culture. All you got to do is follow, I think his name is Super Ray 14K. Follow him and see how they cooking food in those Indian cultures. They be over there cooking with feet. They be making toe jam soup.
Come on, dog.
I'm just saying, bro. Just stop
I know,
me
but
when
come
I'm hungry
on,
anymore.
dog. I mean, yeah. I mean that really
That's
sounds
so
bad,
vibrant.
dog.
This nigga said
And
toe
I know you
jam.
don't come from saying no bullshit or nothing like that, but that just sounds really bad.
Hey, I ain't mean to ruin your appetite, but I'm just saying because this is what I'm saying. This is the culture that they come from. So what I'm saying
What's up
is,
with it, Chad?
I don't project that and
All
say,
right, brother.
hey, everybody, everybody from India eats that, or this is your entire culture. But isn't that what they do with us? Sexy Red makes a twerk video, and then they say, see, this is black culture. I
Yep.
say, cool, I gotta hold that. Then I go to these other countries, and then I look like, hold on, y'all got a culture of child marriages. Y'all got a culture of this. Y'all got a culture of that. Then they start getting tight, right? Look at the Mexican cartel, right? That's pretty violent, right? But like, is anyone saying like the Mexican culture is violent? But if you see some Crips, you'll be see that's black culture.
About to
So
say that's because listen, there would be no cartel without black gangs.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like Envy. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
gangbanged or anything, but like suddenly, if there's one blood that doesn't drive by, it's like, see, Envy, you need to answer for the black community. Why are they doing this? It's like, nigga, I'm not no blood. But then when a cartel member literally decapitates somebody, you don't know no niggas going
Yep.
around decapitating people. When a cartel member decapitates people, it's like, you can't put that on Mexican culture. It's like, how? Like shit, the government ain't doing shit about it.
Right.
Government ain't doing shit about it. Like,
Oh,
come
that's
on
just
now.
what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they do.
No, that was just an individual.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is when I was in Chicago, right? So the propaganda in the news was terrible. So on the, let's just say that the north side was predominantly white and the south side was predominantly black. So if there was a crime on the white side, it would say, today on Clark and Division, such and such and such and such happened, right? The white side, they would make sure there was a street and it was in a certain area, but anything, it could be from 30th all the way to 91st. Today on the south side of Chicago, there was a shooting. Like they literally got away with saying that, bro. Every time something would happen in the north, it had to be like a certain street, a specific location. And you got 91 blocks south of downtown Chicago, but it's today on the south side. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
shit is
so
so biased and crazy. It's
have you ever heard
propaganda.
the
I think you like doing that voice, Envy. But yeah, go ahead.
On the south side, I was trying to
I
sound
know
like a
that
reporter. You know what I'm
I was gonna
saying?
say, is that your natural voice, Envy? I'm like, let
No,
it
hell
out.
no. So,
Oh, okay.
that's how Midwest reporters sound today on the south side.
You did it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
cause
go.
I was like Envy or Mr. Rogers, but I get you though, because there's the saying, what about Chicago? Have you ever heard that? Like they literally when they
Chirac.
yeah,
And
right.
dude, like literally in Chicago, there's probably okay. They say Chirac, right? Okay, cool. Like it's, I mean, I would say from 63rd to there's probably 10 blocks that you could consider Chirac, but it's a
And
huge
that's
Oh
it.
city.
shit. My bad,
Like
Chad. I'm
literally.
over here lit with my eyes closed, listening and shit. I didn't know how long you
Yeah,
was back there, Chad. Go
yeah. I
ahead.
was about to dip in a
All
minute.
right, it's
Well,
all
hold on.
good. It's
What
all
up,
good.
Chad?
Well, hold on, though, Envy. You said something on
What
your
do?
community wall. Was there something you wanted to touch on real quick?
Oh, we're talking about the young bull situation
Yeah.
right now. So you know what sector I'm from. So young bull just made a song. He's from the Mo3 camp. He just made a song and he dissed. I mean, I had never heard anybody say names, uh blocks, sets, neighborhoods, apartment complexes. This dude went crazy. He
Who
just
he
dissed
this Beto?
everybody. Yeah, yep. Hmm. Yeah, he's on
Oh,
Mo3.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Chad
mean,
from up that way.
yeah. And the problem
Yeah.
is well, the crazy thing is like Rainwater was over on Mahia's like scratching down Duke and shit because Rainwater and 88 are gonna meet up with Young Bull because 88 is gonna do an in-person interview with him tomorrow. And I was like, 88, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Shit.
I'm like,
I
what the
thought Rain
fuck?
said he wasn't fucking with them young niggas. He said
No,
Rainwater
no,
said he ain't messing with HSL no more.
no. Rain. I mean, 88 confirmed. I mean, Rain's a troll for sure, but at
Hell
the
yeah.
same
He
time,
all he do is lie.
I know he lies. I hate black women. You know, he lies, he lies. But no, no, there is an in-person interview that we are watching on 88s with Young Bull tomorrow. That shit is crazy. He called her personal phone today and they were talking about it. He started scratching with SD. I was like, man, listen, bro. South Dallas, please leave him alone. He doesn't care about his own life, bruh. So that's what I was gonna talk about. That shit is crazy. But Chad, you're familiar with that.
Yeah. Yeah, all that shit here. What Beto got shot at this store in hell. It just seemed like young
Yup.
boy just turned up after that.
And
You know what
see,
I'm saying?
you got number 7 out there. You got man, listen. And
Yeah.
they were talking about they were like, Duke, you can't even go back to your neighborhood. Remember when he called Crime Stoppers and all that crazy shit or whatever? And
Shit,
you know,
88 boyfriend said he beat Duke up. So he the one put them knots
right.
on his head.
Yep.
Oh,
He
baby
sure
daddy, my
did.
bad.
And yeah, then Duke was trying to remind, hey, when Yellow Belly whooped your ass and you had to get a hip replacement, he came back. He said he did it on his own. So what I'm saying is, they, you know how ignorant they were. They're like, is this going to be a war in Dallas? No, they're going to get some YN that wants to earn his stripes to take out Young Bull. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
bro. He dissed the whole. But see, you can't say, fuck Dallas, fuck Houston, fuck Atlanta. No, he said fuck this apartment complex, fuck this nigga. Like he had like a checklist. You know what I'm saying? I was like, mm.
I'm about to go check it out, man. Niggas crazy.
Listen to that song, man. It's gonna make you feel weird. And the fact that we get to watch, the fact that we're gonna watch 88 him interview in person is just crazy. I'm like, damn, 88. What kind of security do you got?
Her daddy.
Mm. Yeah.
It'd be good out there, man.
Okay. Well, hey, y'all have a good time out there. But yeah, that's what I was
talking
talking
about.
Y'all,
I ain't going.
We'll see.
Talking about y'all, I ain't
right.
going.
You're not.
Put you on that trip.
Well,
Huh,
the way I was going to tie that into what you guys are. Well, the way I was going to tie that into what y'all are talking is, it's crazy that the trend is how many bodies you got, dog. How many bodies? We just talked about robbing somebody or doing some dumb shit. Now it's how many bodies you got, dog. Yeah. And that's supposed to get your weight up. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Hey, what it do? Stunner Cartier. I haven't seen you in here, but
they say if you got two bodies, you regular, you normal, you ain't no killer.
Oh yeah, right.
That's crazy,
two bodies,
bro. You hear that? That sounds fucking crazy.
Man, if niggas is talking about bodies,
but the OGs are what 31 now, so.
Yeah, well, actually, 24, like 10 years ago, I remember Turf Talk, he was talking about 24 feeling way OG. So, like, when you're 24 years old, especially when you grew up in the slums, you didn't already seen a lot. But I have a saying that street niggas is the new nerds. They're the new dweebs. Because a lot of these niggas out here is not really streets. They are really dorks that are cosplaying as a street nigga because the number one.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Let's just use the crack commandments, right?
That might be merch.
I'm saying, what's the number one rule? Don't get caught.
Don't get high with your own supply.
Well, I know one of them. I don't know if it's the number one.
But it's crazy. It's crazy hearing the jail stories. Oh, you got caught. Okay,
hold on. I call this a jail story is a failed story, and most of the time, most of the time, it's a fable, right? Because niggas be like, "Bro, when I was out, nigga, I had the Range Rover with the 26." I'm like, "Bro, if you had that, why didn't you have enough to get a lawyer, bro?" Because realistically, I give the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say that you did have all that shit, nigga. I had gold, I had chains, I had these bitches. You had 6 bitches. And none of them put no money on your books. None of them could get you a lawyer. None of them could get you out. So it's like, actually, you should keep that story to yourself because it makes you sound like that much of a sucker. Man, I was spreading all the money around the hood. You spread all the money around the hood, but you don't have enough love for niggas to even write you a letter. So, bro, you should probably keep them stories to yourself, bro. And not only that, if the number one rule is to not get caught, why are you snitching on yourself?
Shit.
Come on, bro.
Most of them, they had their reward money. They said they had a reward money from their baby mama be the one turned them in.
Hey, that 50K.
It's like if you was balling, but think about it, if you were balling like that, why would your baby mama turn you in for $10,000? She was gonna get that anyway, right? Or you must not have it like that.
That's what I'm saying, Chad. That's what I'm saying. These
her side dude's a dope boy. You know what I mean? Come on now. Her side dude's the dope boy. The baby daddy is the nerd.
Well, actually,
paying child support, but the dope boy is making sure everything is where it needs to be, and then making sure them stamps come in, and I think we cap out in Atlanta at 4, so we always say after your 5th child, that just means that you're selling their social security number.
Yeah, for that tax benefit.
Oh, they sell their social security numbers fast. I was in this neighborhood. We were self-sustained. We went over to one little spot that was the barber. Another little spot was the store. The other little spot was the weed place. And we did have a woman that did that like straight up with the social security numbers and all this other weird shit. pretending to be square, working at the government office, but robbing their ass. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. Social security numbers. You're good to go.
Well, don't be modest, Envy. Tell us what she hooked you up with.
Nothing.
A kid.
Listen, a kid.
Hey, you know,
Look,
hey,
hey,
I gotta change the little subject real quick while Envy's up here because Envy's kind of a whole different kind of cat right now. Be easy, you know what I'm saying? Envy's the type that has like 100 plus now in his chats. You know what I'm saying? That nigga
Ah,
talking
shit.
this shit.
Oh
That
hell!
nigga, no, hold
This
on.
dude saw 170. He was like,
Hey,
"Oh,
hey, this
Hey,
nigga,
Damn,
this
170.
nigga be talking this shit and really just
hey,
get
you
to.
own the
He's
show, Big Rig.
dangerous, bro. I'm just
Hey,
saying,
big,
be like Envy. He a different nigga, bro.
nah,
He
Big
kind
Rig.
of
Now,
dangerous. Go
now,
ahead.
now that I see things more clearly, like bruh did come in with a different level of swag, like the
I'm just letting it be known. Hey,
I
I appreciate Envy. You know what I'm saying? Sliding through for sure. That's the homie. But I'm just saying
Damn.
though. I'm just saying, Envy is, you know what I mean? He been doing his thizzle, he kind of like a everyday, you know what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying.
guy.
Hit that
Envy,
button.
guy.
That
guy.
Envy said he done move from regular
I mean,
polo to purple label, huh?
hey, they put me in the
hey,
they put me in the council, dog, and it went up
hey,
in
you know,
there. You know,
hey,
you know
Chad
what I'm
T,
saying?
Chad T, he was wearing that Beverly Hills Polo Club. Now he got Ralph
What's up
Lauren.
with it outside?
Oh, he got Ralph
nah,
Lauren.
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? They
It,
just want to hear what the hell I have to say.
Envy,
Hey, shout out to
Envy,
them.
Envy
That's
went
right.
from Izod to Ralph Lauren. Shout out to Envy.
Izod. Damn, let's go.
Damn.
Or what's the chaps to polo?
Chap.
A Chaps is solid.
Niggas and some rustlers from
It ain't
Kmart.
Ralph Lauren, but it's solid.
Nigga Envy said no more duck head for him, huh?
Yeah, it's over.
I'm like, man, I be
Hey,
trying to click those chats. Do chat be
hey,
going.
Envy,
I'm
you
like,
still doing your Inspector Gadget investigative work or what?
investigate me?
Yeah, because
That
Inspector
was the
Gadget.
starting. That was the starting of him being dangerous. He's talking about
that's
when
what I'm saying. That's how you blew
Oh,
up.
you was doing
oh,
your
my
3 days.
reviews,
Yeah,
my
no, your 3
reviews and
days
shit.
NY and shit.
Oh no, Inspector Gadget. All that shit is trolling, to be honest.
Oh,
with you.
okay, gotcha.
I'm still always gonna troll for sure, but I'm on my music shit for the rest of the week.
Bro,
I'm on my music shit for the rest of the week.
you did the bait and switch. You thought niggas was gonna be on the troll beef shit, and then you kind of switched it up a little.
I did. I was like, oh shit, let me stop doing this to people. Hold on, slow down. Wait.
So you saying the master troll helped you blow your channel up then, huh? Oh, binary.
No, hell no. Hell no.
Oh
You
shit!
said since you got a part of the council,
Where's Chad?
man,
binary the one
coming in at?
started the
I was
council.
doing just fine. I was doing just fine with.
And who's all in the council?
I'm actually
MP?
binary and I are like trolling each other right now. We're kind of in a we're in a weird space. But go ahead.
Who's
I
the
just put up
official
a
members
short
of the council?
about him. Come on, man.
No, for real.
You want to know?
I heard they wanted you on
I
that
want
big rig.
the
Nah, I don't.
council. The
I'm a
council is in
solo
shambles
bolo.
right now. It's in shambles right now. Everybody's arguing. You know what I'm
But is
saying?
it 3 of y'all or 4 of y'all?
There's let's see, we got binary. I don't know what he does.
Because
I guess
is
he runs the
Resto in
shit.
there?
He
too?
started it though. Binary
well,
started it.
I'm the one that named the shit, but because Malik wanted to be Costa Nostra. I'm like, dude,
That's
we're not a
wild.
mob, bro. Like, chill out, slow
Wow,
down.
bro.
No, but he took it real
Wow.
serious. He's like, I'm gonna be. I would just listen to him talk. He thought it was a real deal. I want to be the VP. I was like, dude, you could be whatever you want to be, bro. And then so the ghetto is supposed to be the treasurer because he's an accountant. Me, I'm supposed to be the production manager, and I changed my title to the guy that comes around sometimes.
I mean,
no, you can't do that. You can't do that. But go ahead.
Resto's the secretary.
Okay, so
Resto?
that's what I wanted your name. Okay,
and
there's another person.
And Ken's a sergeant at arms. He's an enforcer.
That's where y'all shit fail having Resto in there. I mean, first of all, you got a dude over the money who teeth come out. I'm just saying.
We don't really, I mean, Resto's where Resto's at. You know what I'm saying? Resto's getting his ass broke by pizza. So, shout out to Resto.
Damn.
Pizza's like, well, she's counting down the days. It's 10 days, 9 days, 8 days, or he comes back to America and gets his Cash App. He can't have his Cash App in South Korea. South Korea. Woo! Man.
Oh,
yeah.
He came with that conscious energy. Woo. Okay.
Oh, speaking of conscious energy, you know what? Hey, bro, listen to this. He's got the worst song ever made. It's called Cocaine Stripper.
What?
Bullshit.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Bullshit. Like yeah, you're not finna sit up here and disrespect my boy like that.
Hold on,
he ain't disrespecting my boy like that. We Texas strong over here.
Hear the story first.
As soon as he heard you say that shit, Chad T said,
I know, Chad. Hold on now, Umar sucker.
Nah, fuck Umar said, nigga, we Texas strong, boy. It's about the state over here. You know what I'm talking about? Shit.
Listen.
Nigga, we got bloodlines over here.
Peace and love. Peace and love. No, but listen to this though, Chad, real quick, bro. Here's what he did. This dumbass met the talent show, right, at Lemons. So this dumbass conscious energy was like, play cocaine strippers, right? Okay, cool. Then he goes over to binaries and he says, you know what? Lemon needs to know that, there's a profit split because that, that song is copyrighted.
That's fucked up.
Lemon was like, hold on a minute.
That's a classic
Lemon
move,
was like,
bro.
hold on a minute.
That's fucked up, boy.
Lemon's like, I got 14. He's like, I got 14,000 motherfucking views and content. She wants a profit split.
Look, he gonna say it right after. He gonna say it right after you.
He played it on purpose, dog.
Hey, you might want to go tell Lemmy.
Man.
Oh yeah,
he all about that dollar. You know what I'm saying? If it don't make dollars, it makes sense. He always about the bread. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I saw him on Lemons the other day.
Your audio's going out. Your audio's like a Vorgan and shit. Yeah, but it's Vorgan.
Man, it should be tripping up here to work. It's still
turn it down a little bit. Nah, you cool now.
Shit, I'm like Lemon headphones. I can't turn down.
Oh, your shit dumbass loud.
Is it still going? Damn, hold up.
He be at work on YouTube like Noble.
Yeah, what's better to be on here than making money? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Real talk. Noble in his breathing machine. We always got to hear that.
That wild, man. That's crazy.
Get up, Noble.
He in the warehouse with the fans going, man. Y'all wilding.
Get up, Noble.
Lemon was heated when he found out that.
Oh my God!
I bet he was.
Oh, they had to bring it to his attention. Hey, Lemon, did you happen to look at your copyright? Motherfucker went back there.
Oh man,
what the fuck is this?
That's fucked up.
Lolo pulled up the clip where conscious energy went over the binaries and explained the whole thing.
And you know Lolo was on it.
He wanted to get. Was like, okay,
that's the first time I'm hearing somebody getting hit for that though. Because I mean, plenty of people in the sector been playing that shit, but I mean, I don't know if they done got emails or whatever. But that's my first time hearing about this shit though. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and it's got 653 views from years ago. Betty ain't even got ISOD. He doesn't have UPCs. He doesn't have anything. And I looked up his company. It's a disaster. I don't know what he's doing, dog. It's registered with YouTube. Okay, bro.
Yeah, he was
was about to sign with Rapper
doing it right.
man.
If it's after he was done, he got that
Okay.
copyright shit. He doing it right. he got something.
The only
going
thing he was
for him.
gonna sign with Rap-A-Lot was a broom and a mop.
Oh, this nigga.
He about to sign with Rapper man. Shout out Steve. Man, he got videos on the Sauce Walker and everything, man. Come on, put some respect on my boy name.
Nah, hell no.
Yeah, see, Envy over here like, wait. Hey.
No, he's talking about hell no shit. He do. He got videos with Sauce Walker on there. Ooh-wee.
Seen it.
That's awful.
And he put the
It's on his channel. Shit, they was in the jewelry store together. Him and Sauce Walker.
Jesus Christ, man. So okay.
Now you're gonna bring Jesus in it too. This is too much, though.
You know,
right?
I don't know. Yeah, you know his 2 carat bracelets and shit.
Hey man,
you know,
boy was in the jewelry store with Sauce Walker, man.
I mean, shout out to the kiosks in the middle of the mall. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them.
Now you talking about the kiosk, man? Come on now.
Jump in the pool and forget to take your chain off. You'll be green.
My boy, see, he was at TV Johnny, man. Come on now.
Envy is on fucking go right now, bro.
Envy a hater, man. Envy hate.
Well, he should have came on there with that. He had fake Burberry glasses on and a fake Louis Vuitton.
And see, that's another thing. They say it's fake Burberry glasses.
Yeah, I mean, Louis Vuitton don't make no peel off sticker. They
okay.
embroider.
Envy, you know who OTB Fast Lane is?
Fast Lane, yeah, I know who Fast Lane is.
Right. Okay, he got the same goddamn Burberry glasses CE got on. He got the same glasses CE got on.
Pogo, buy one get one. On the back of the truck.
You trying to shit on CE, man? Come on, man.
Come on, dog. No, but he wouldn't pull up on Levitt. He's running, but he went to buy there. He wouldn't pull up, bro.
Oh man.
Oh,
that's crazy. Shit. No, that's the first time I heard somebody getting a letter sent to him about that song. Cause like I say, man, everybody been playing this shit, but a lot of people, and I said they ain't monetized either though. So you know what I'm saying?
It's not a strike or anything. It literally just, it's a revenue share. It's a copyright claim to get some of your. But see, the fucked up thing is he didn't care about people in the chat. He got
you can play it, just give me a quarter, huh?
16,000 views. He's over there. He's over there collecting money off of the AdSense.
Hey man, see, he a hustler, man. He gotta get it. He gotta get it.
The funny shit though is to tell you right after you play it, though, bro.
Go there right now, cut that shit off. I'm gonna cut it off. We're like, dude, you lose your trap, but hey, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Fuck.
Shout out to cocaine strippers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to CE, man.
Don't ever listen to the song. It's terrible.
I heard the song about
that man. What you talking about, nigga? I said the anthem. What you talking about?
That reminded me of like the iPhone 2s and shit. His goddamn film quality is definitely not HD. That's
well, I mean, he made it about in 06.
He got okay. Well, he's got like 420. Yeah, he's got like 420. Not even the 720. Okay, he's got like the 400. Okay, or the 480.
Oh man, what is Envy?
480p. Shout out to the 480p. 480p is HD. That's the lowest end of HD, but it is HD. 480, 720, and 1080.
720, 10. Yeah, 19.
And then after that, 19, 20, and then it goes into like 1K, 2K.
All right, well, I mean, shout out to the. I mean, shit. I guess he was ahead of his time then. Shout out to the.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Put some respect on it.
Put some respect on
shit. Put some respect on his name, boy. He made
I
this
mean,
video before flat screens was cheap. Come on now.
with
Shit.
flat
I
screens were
bought mine
heavy.
used off the homie for 800.
Exactly. Flat screen cheap now. You get a
Hey,
65 inch for
bro.
Right,
$300.
Hey,
right.
well,
Yeah.
I paid $5, but mine's was smart TV. But yeah, I got like a
Man, it's
like
crazy. It's crazy.
70 inch.
Man, they still,
Exactly.
man. Man, them
Now put
ratchets,
that
them
TV in
ratchets
08. You
come
looking
on
at
there.
$2,000.
The ratchet chicks that come
Crazy,
on there,
bro.
they're like, it's
Hey,
crazy what people brag about on YouTube. Like they
now
walk around,
speaking of
I
the
got a
old school, bro.
60-inch television. I'm like, oh, okay, $500. Damn, bro.
Now
Like,
back,
I got a 60-inch in this motherfucker. Okay, bro.
bro. When I grew up,
That's a
bro,
gas buddy.
I had a
But you'll
13
respect the
inch.
90 when you see it in person, though. I'll tell you how much.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
got you.
You
Hey,
will
now,
respect the 90.
You got a 90
yeah.
big rig? You got
Nah,
that 90?
my sister got 2 of them. I was like, damn.
Oh
That
damn.
motherfucker too big.
Hey, yes, some of them it be too big. I think cats just be getting it for
It's
bragging
too
rights.
big, bro. It is,
I hate
bro.
to move my neck that much to watch TV. Like, man,
Yeah.
I mean, it just takes up your
Shit.
whole wall. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You can
She
even
got her
get a
shit sitting on the
projector
little
too.
fireplace get down thing, but it's just like it's too much, bro.
I used to have.
I'm comfortable,
when I
like
was
probably
really-
what you said, like a good 70, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a good
Yeah, that
70.
I'm
and
kind
that's
of maxed out with
that's
that.
when I
great.
was
Yeah.
degenerate, when I was degenerate gambler, I used to have two 55s next to each other and break those up into 4 blocks. Yeah, or I could watch 8 games. Yeah, I was a degenerate gambler. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You got that what's that
I
shit?
had a
It's like the
problem
Applebee's
with
type style look or
Albany,
something.
man. Yeah, that shit. It looks
Okay,
stupid.
you had the little man cave.
Yeah, but that shit was stupid. I wasn't even flexing. I literally just had
Hey,
to watch
shit.
that many games.
Now it ain't that stupid because you can get them folks same 50.
That's what I was gonna say.
You can
Yes,
get
Hey,
them
man.
for
Vibrant just checked all
$400.
y'all. She said
Vibrant, let's
480 is
go,
not
Vibrant.
HD.
Yeah, let's go,
She
Vibrant.
said it's standard
I just
definition,
agreed with them to keep the
motherfuckers.
conversation
Oh
going.
damn, she texts me.
Oh no,
Okay.
Vibrant will check me, man.
Damn.
Vibrant
And
will-
Vibrant don't just come through just to
Vibrant's
be
like,
coming through
she
saying
works
shit. She
for
said,
Google.
hold up.
You got 2 choices out here on the internet. You can ask Alexa or you could ask Vibrant.
Mm.
Vibrant will
Shit,
fuck
I just saw a
Alexa up.
commercial for another one they done added here. What is it? Shit, I forget what the hell was called. But they were asking nigga to do directions and shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, damn.
Well, y'all are on California time, man. I'm about to
Yeah, I was about to
slide
say,
up
Envy,
out
I
of here.
appreciate
got
you
a couple
sliding,
things
bro. Go on and
going
get up out of here,
I
man.
appreciate y'all, man. I learned a couple things, and tell Conscious Energy to check in. Chad D. He's about to roll it up and go to
See,
PC on it on Lemon's ass. Okay.
hey, see, he from Third Ward. He ain't checking in with no.
Look, Chad ain't going for it, dog.
Hell
He
no, man.
He gonna
We
let you
got
put
to put
that on
some
feed like that. You know what I mean?
shit. It's like he taking in with nobody.
Yeah, your audio
Hey.
is going in and out, Chad.
Man, this car
It's
shit.
yeah, your shit is saying no, straight up.
Oh look, let me move here to a different parking spot.
Yeah, you must be, underneath a crazy tree or something, but that motherfucker is.
Nah, man, it's damn building, man. Shit, they be trying to knock your service
building
out,
will
so you
take
ain't
you
know.
out. Yeah, building will take you out.
Yeah, they don't want you on your phone at work. That's how it is.
What's up with you though,
good
B?
now.
Yeah, you good.
Already.
What's up with you, B?
The nigga went to sleep.
Oh yeah, that nigga probably doing something. I hope you slide through
Hey,
B
man,
on Friday.
Oh,
was the
yeah.
game tonight?
Yeah, I had to. No, the game is not tonight, but OKC got this. I think Halliburton is injured.
That's what I'm rolling with too, man. Okay, see shit.
Yeah, I'll slide through whenever, bro. Just send me the link and you know what I mean, I'll pop up.
Yeah,
Say my name, I'll pop up like the boogeyman.
Okay, for sure. Because he said he finna get down Friday, so I'm probably gonna make it for like 8 o'clock. So that'll be dope.
Shit.
What's up with you,
Yeah.
Dad, bro? You still got some hours to put in that work, huh?
Oh yeah, man, we 66 over here, nothing less than 12. You know what I'm saying? No less, no more.
I could dig it. I could dig it. What you about like 1 o'clock out there or something?
Yeah, 12:54.
Yep. Yep.
You know, you about to shut it down, shit.
Yeah, I'm about to shut it down, man. We got
I'm about to
about
say
like
you
six
you
and a half
sounded like
minutes.
I be over nigga house and they be like, so what y'all about to do? It's like nigga, go on and tell us to get the fuck out here. Go on and tell us
Hey,
to get out, nigga.
Nigga getting kind of
bruh.
hungry, thinking about some wings to put in the fryer and shit. You feel me?
Hey, that
Hey,
that nigga Chad hit it right on the big rig dancing around. Hey, so what y'all about to do tomorrow and shit? You feel me? Like, hey, what time y'all
right.
he asking shit like, what time y'all usually be going to bed? Cause you know me, I usually be going to bed around this. And like, nigga, if you want us to dip, just
He want
Nah,
us to deal
shit.
so he can heat up some wings and watch a movie. You know what I'm
Man, I'm
big
I'm
rig.
hungry than a motherfucker, boy.
Bruh, if you trying to Netflix and chill, nigga, just tell us. We understand, my
saying?
nigga.
We niggas. Be honest. Cause
Yeah.
he ain't like me. I'll be like, hey man, yeah, it's time for y'all go. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey, big rig. That's the shit that we were talking about earlier. Like we too inviting with that humble spirit. Big rig don't want to just kick the niggas out. It'd be like that too at the barbecue, right? A nigga got like 3 plates of ribs, and it's like, no, tell that thing, like, nigga, you had enough, bro.
Right, right,
Like,
right.
Hey, Reed, I'm gonna tell you, man, my brother used to do this shit. Hell, his homie would call us shit. He'd be like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? My brother like, hey, I ain't having no company day. He like, oh, what you got something going on? Like, nah, I just ain't having no company day. I'm just chilling with the wife and the family. You know what I'm saying? I'll holler at you another day. That's how you
Right.
got be big Riz. Let nigga know straight up. Well shit, I'll holler at y'all though.
Yeah, for sure, man. You be good, Chad.
yes, salute, man. There's a dope little panel you had tonight.
Yeah, it was cool, man. You was popping your shit, man. So that was dope.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, that shit was all off the dome. I ain't even know what you was even gonna be talking about. So you know how it be. Just gotta feed off each other energy. You feel me?
Off top. I can definitely dig that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to shut this thing down. And next time y'all see me will be Friday. This Sunday we will be having from the block to the hood table over here on this platform. Hopefully y'all slide through for that too. So shit, I'm gonna be around like 2 more times this week, y'all. So I hope y'all slide through. But definitely though, B man, slide through on Friday, man, because John finna pull up, man. So that'll be dope.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'll pull up. So I'll let you go ahead and do your thing and shut it down. Thanks for having me. I mean, I might even do just an impromptu stream tomorrow. I've been doing some pre-recorded stuff. I got some stuff just to edit, but I like to come on and touch with the
Well,
fam.
yeah,
So
just let me know and I'll go ahead and share that thing. You feel me? And people that seen you tonight, man, I'm sure they want to see a little bit more of you, you know what I mean? So that's what it is.
okay, yeah, man. I appreciate the chat and the block, a big rig, man. Thanks for having me, bro. I'm gonna head out.
Off top. Be safe out there, bro. So yeah, y'all,
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all being here, you feel me, and sliding through tonight. Shit, you know how we do it, man. I told y'all I was gonna be back on Wednesday. I kept my word. Next time I be here will be Friday. We had a homie here. So, it's gonna be cool, man. I hope y'all slide through and check it out. And I hope y'all like the interview, man. You know what I'm saying? I think John is a real cool, dope individual. Like I said, I met him through Be Easy. Y'all see how Be Easy get down, you feel me? So, I think it'll be a nice little treat, man. But again, though, I appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to the replay gang. And shit, man. You know what it is, man. On the block with Red.